You know how it go. I'm coming, bro. I'm live. Yeah. I'm live. I ain't been live in a minute. I'm live now though. So, you know. Let's watch some wings. Let's wait for some people getting in here. Wait for some people getting in here. Then we go start the documentary. I decided to go with a documentary today. Just cause you know, why not start with a documentary with this live streaming journey, right? So I'm gonna get right on into the video. Hope some people come through. Oh, shout out to Turkey Tom for the video. By the way, I ain't see this documentary. I watched another one. I ain't see this one before. So shout out to Turkey Tom.
Obesity.
Food controls my life.
Rage. Depression.
I've wanted it so fucking bad. I just can't do it.
Shout out to the finger sniffers. Shout out to the finger sniffers for sure.
Man.
Lying.
So he pulls out a 38 and shoots me in the leg.
These words define the online presence of Wings of Redemption, going back the last 2 decades. Unlike other lolcows, Wings
Travis,
isn't
what's up,
delusional
man?
about
Travis,
his
what's up?
situation. If anything,
Appreciate you.
he's far too aware of it, even if he doesn't care enough to put in the effort to change it. Despite how insufferable he can be as a person, his unusually charismatic persona makes his story unique in that, even at his lows, some can't help but root for him. However, his actions can get so irredeemable that sometimes sustaining that empathy is hard. It's hard to say what even compels him to continue with his online presence at this point, considering the damage it's inflicted on his life. So, join me as I dive into the insane, torturous life of Wings of Redemption.
That's
On the
crazy.
21st day of April in 1986,
1 minute, man. What's good, bro? What's good, 1 minute, man? What's good?
television presenter Gerardo Rivera opened Al Capone's vaults, and though very much was expected to come out of it, nothing was ultimately found. On the same day, in Conway, South Carolina, a teenage couple, alleged by their future son to be related to one another, was in the opposite situation. Despite not expecting anything to come from their immature relationship, a baby was on its way. Named
classic ban spree. Ban anybody. I got no mods though. I don't even know how mods and stuff work. I don't need no mods. I don't need nobody.
Jordy McCready Jordan, he grew up alongside 2 siblings, though neither from the same father as his.
McCready?
When Jordan was
Is McCready his middle name? It's McCready? That sounds like a burger item. Can I get 2 McCreadys? That's crazy. That's McCrazy.
just 2 years old, his father, who had been said to be an alcoholic, left the family, leaving Jordy to be raised by his grandparents. Very little is known about his childhood and teenage years, though a few stories from this period have lingered on, being reiterated by Jordan after he became a YouTube personality. When he was just 4 years old, he and his brother were playing baseball when, during a swing, his brother accidentally let the bat slip out of his hand, which then flew and hit Jordan in the head, cracking his skull open and landing him in the hospital. While many of the stories Jordan tells are of dubious veracity, this one hasn't been legitimately disputed as of yet. However, we can't say the same for another
That's
story
crazy.
dating to around the same time. When he was 5 or 6 years old, during a time when he was being raised by his grandmother and separated from his siblings, he saw an infomercial for a tape called Growing Up Wild, Kittens and Caboodles, which he immediately became infatuated with. After getting it and watching it, he became inspired by a part of it that
How did these people find out this information? How do they does Wings I assume Wings tells these stories and that's how these things get out there. But like they talking about some kitties and poodles or whatever, like what is going on right now?
focused on the common adage that cats always land on their feet. Due to the fact that there were kittens around his grandma's house, he immediately decided to test this theory out, pushing a cat off of a picnic table, and lo and behold, it landed on its feet. Whilst he was still reeling from having watched the tape, he was shooting a basketball in his yard when he felt compelled to assert dominance over the kittens that were still there. In order to do this, he picked up a 5-gallon bucket and trapped one of the kittens under it. Accidentally,
The bucket, the famous bucket incident, and we're not talking about a bucket of crispy. The famous cat bucket, man. It's crazy what he did that dang cat. Yo, chapters, what's good? Real nuance, what's good? Flexing, what's good?
as he retells the story, he forgot the kitten was under there and left it trapped until it presumably suffocated. While he has on and off retained the legitimacy of this story, he also claimed it to be a lie on many occasions, claiming that he thought the story made him more interesting. It could be that he did indeed lie, but it's equally as likely that it did happen, and he's actually lying about it not having happened. It's worth noting he's also
My thing is this, people just don't lie about killing a cat and like having it under a bucket. He got that somewhere. that's not something you just make up. You know what I mean? That is a crazy story to make up. He definitely did that. If I had to vote and bet my life on it, he definitely did it. Definitely.
Also told an identical story wherein he watched the Kittens and Caboodles tape and went on to endanger his
Shout
cats.
out Sean
But
Rankin.
this time, instead of trapping one under the bucket, he flung it up until it broke the cat's neck.
And I just watched a video, Kittens and Caboodles, and it told me kittens always land on their feet. So I
Shit.
took this cat and I kept throwing him up to see if he'd land on his feet. Well, eventually the cat broke its neck.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
Considering how unlikely it is that there were two different instances of him killing cats in absurd circumstances,
Jim, what's up, man?
specifically after having watched a Kittens and Caboodles tape, the greatest likelihood is that one of them is a lie, while the other is unfortunately true. His defense for having done this was that he was just a little kid who didn't know any better, and to an extent, that's a valid defense, even if many of his future actions became so indefensible
Nah,
that even
man.
his
Nah. Forget that. Little kids don't do that. They say if you a little kid and you kill an animal or something, you like a serial killer. You know what I mean? Pretty sure Michael Myers was killing squirrels and stuff as a kid. Nah, normal kids just don't hurt animals. I don't know. They say it's something in your brain or something. I don't know. We just don't. I haven't. I'm sure y'all haven't either. And if y'all have, got my questions about you. Leave them animals
justifiable
alone.
mistakes get called into question. According to Wings, during his earlier life, one of his few extraordinary
Lexi Pro
qualities was
Pimp.
that he excelled at PE in school. Though it may be difficult to believe that this guy was the best athlete in his class at one time, during his childhood, he actually didn't have an issue with his weight. It wasn't until a foreign exchange student entered his class and outcompeted him that his eating disorder began. Thinking that the reason for his athletic shortcoming was his lack of muscle, he decided to up his caloric intake as much as he could. But because he was still a kid and had very little understanding of how things like dieting and caloric intake work, his way of going about this was asking for his grandmother to give him additional portions of the food he was already eating, regardless of whether the food was healthy or not. This resulted in him quickly putting on a lot of weight that consisted not of muscle.
That is crazy. That's crazy. He said the divorce saga is coming soon. I believe the divorce saga is coming. I don't wish, like I said it in my videos many times before. I don't wish no harm or ill will on anybody. But Kelly, even though she seems like a really nice person, let's be real. At the end of the day, she's still a person. A person can only take so much of being ignored and just feel like their feelings don't matter and stuff like that. A person can only deal with so much. So if I had to bet, I would say that there's a divorce saga coming, and that's gonna be crazy. But like I said, I don't wish no ill will on nobody. It's just what I think is gonna happen. But
muscle as he initially expected, but instead of pure fat. According to Jordan, by the time he got to high school, he weighed anywhere from 200
I like
to
Kelly.
240 pounds. And since his adult height would eventually be 5'11", it's safe to say he was a few inches shorter than that in his freshman year. His weight problem became so extreme that he developed genu varum, more commonly known as bow-leggedness. As a consequence of his obesity, he no longer had physical education as the only saving grace of his high school experience, so he slowly became isolated and antisocial. As he describes it, being fat in high school sucked, and his favorite class was lunch. During this time, his GPA dropped to an astonishing 1.0, which only goes to show how truly dejected and demoralized
I
he'd
agree,
become.
man.
Even though
I
he had
agree.
completely given up academically, he still seemed capable of enjoying time with his friends, which is revealed by pictures from his yearbook, which held within it a congratulations to the students from the local Pepsi factory, almost prophesizing the very intimate relationship he went on to have with
the foreshadowing by Pepsi is crazy. Pepsi marketing is genius. They know what they was doing.
fast food and soft drinks. Though we did have a few friends, including Kelly, one of the very few people who stuck with him for the rest of
About
his
high school cheer. No, I didn't. I didn't hear what he said about high school cheerleaders, but I did see when I got on YouTube and stuff. I seen that Wings 007 uploaded a video saying he said something about high school girls. I was gonna react to that today, but I wanted to stream today. So, but I did see it though. I'm gonna watch it at some point. He did say it, like it showed Wings and then like high schoolers. So I know it was something crazy. But let me know what he said.
life regardless of his ups and downs.
Pepsi
Jordy retreated from real
concentration
life due to
camp
his
is
failures
wild.
and shortcomings. Despite that, he did retain his passion for competition from when he was good at PE, only this time he dedicated it towards various video games, a realm in which his physical attributes, or lack thereof, couldn't hinder him from excelling. It's also during this time that, at least according to Jordy, he was diagnosed with bipolar and social anxiety disorder, though he's never published any proof of this diagnosis online. Another story Jordan began telling about this period of his life, which many believe to be a complete lie, is the story of when he got shot. The story goes that when he and his mom were living in Section 8 housing
I ain't never hear no story about him getting shot. Come on, man. 62 IQ. He mentioned 6-year-old chillers are bombshells. He really said that? That's crazy. I do remember him saying he needed a passport to go to Chicago. I do remember that. I do remember
projects
that.
due to how poor they were. Somebody attempted to steal her old Monte Carlo. 15-year-old Jordy noticed as the burglar broke into the car through the window and began running towards him. But due to his hefty physique, by the time he got to the car, the robber was about to drive away. But not before giving Jordy a parting gift by pulling out a .38 snub nose and shooting him in the leg. Initially, he specified that the bullet ripped a tendon in the back of his leg, hit the bone, and came out, knocking his knee out of the joint. These details were added, at least in part, as an excuse for him having never lost the weight he'd put on by the time.
I don't believe that. I damn sure don't believe that. I don't believe that. There's no way Wings got shot. Wings did not. Wings didn't get shot. Like dude said, he just using that for a reason why he ain't losing no weight. You ain't getting shot, man. It's such a specific spot in the back of the knee and it ruins your kneecap. Come on, dude. Come on, man. It's not. No. Nah, you ain't getting shot, dude.
He got to high school.
I
Seeing
knew it
as
was
him
some
being
BS.
shot gave him a bum leg, that made him unable to exercise. But as time went on and people got
He's
to
a
see
liar.
full body images of Jordan and noticed he had nothing resembling a scar or a limp, besides his 400-pound bow-legged waddle, the story was questioned until he eventually admitted it was a lie altogether. Presumably because he knew he would never graduate anyway, Jordan gave up on high school and began looking for jobs, with some pretty significant success if we're to believe him. First, he was hired at a grocery store, but due to the effort-intensive nature of the work and Jordan's less than disciplined approach to doing things that he doesn't feel like
Okay,
doing,
he
it
already
led him to
admitted
quit
it.
after just 2
I know
weeks of
that.
employment. Next up was his job at a movie rental store called Movie Gallery, where he would experience another one of his dubious life events. Though considering how consistent the details are when he retells this one, there's a higher chance that it's true. Jordy says that on his
The fake badge, the fake bag was crazy. Commando Pride was good, man. Commando Pride was good, man. But this fake badge was crazy. He had the little badge and he tried to hide the information. It looked like a Paw Patrol card. I remember that.
very first night as the night shift security guard. On a fateful December 18th, his only order was to go through the training manuals on the computer. About 2 hours into his shift, 3 black gentlemen came into the store, intending to rob it. Jordan notes that the ringleader, as he puts it, was armed with a German Luger, which he thought was unusual, while the other 2 assailants had .38s, like the one he lied about being shot with. They proceeded to take the employees, Jordan included, to the bathroom in the back of the store and have them get down on their hands and knees as they worked to break into the safe in the manager's office to get roughly $300 out of it. As they fled through the back door, they tripped the alarm, which did very little to stop their escape as the police took about 20 minutes to arrive. Worse yet, when they did arrive, they suspected Jordan of having set it up since this was his first day at the job, so they decided to ransack his car.
Yo, what? I've never heard this story before. I don't know if it's true or not. It's probably not. Murky, what's good? I don't know the validity of the story. I really don't. I've never heard the story before. He's the dude set him up. If it's true, it's not funny. If it's true, it's not funny. But it's just like if everything that this dude ever said was true, then this dude would have the most miraculous, craziest life in the world where everything happens to him. Like, come on, man. This dude got that from some movie. They took him to the back, hands behind the bed, and then even the gun that they showed before looked like a gun from Battlefield. Black people don't just be rolling around with the Harriet Tubman Thule, you know what I mean? They don't just do that. Nah. They have some other guns, you know. That first gun, I don't know what the hell that was that they showed. That looked like the Paul Revere or something. I don't know what that was.
only to find nothing but a case of CDs, which they completely disorganized in the process of going through them. This was just one of the times Jordan got robbed in his youth, and at least one other instance of it was while he was working the job he took on immediately after as the delivery guy and night shift manager for Domino's Pizza. This time, he was hit on the back with a shotgun and fell on the ground, proceeding to get his pocket.
Fake story? The documentary is terrible. Is it really a fake story? Dang, I thought the dude was credible. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's real or not. That's why I'm saying. I don't know. I've never heard the story before, and I've been doing this for like a year. I don't know if it's true or not.
Pockets picked. Since he didn't make very much and was asked to do more than he was initially hired to do in the first place, he was pleased to lose the job. This instability went on until 2005, when Jordan was already 18 to 19 and had dropped out of high school after failing to graduate, none of which was expected. That's when he lucked into one of the best jobs someone with his lack of experience and general competence could get, operating a crane at a Met Glass facility. He made $6,000 a month, and as he puts it, he accidentally saved $40,000. This is because he worked 12-hour shifts, meaning he had no time to even spend the money he made. With only 10 hours to sleep, eat, and by eat, we mean going to a McDonald's drive-thru and getting a Coke and a sandwich, and of course, play Call of Duty, which he often...
Yeah, some of these I never heard before either. But that's crazy. He made $6,000 a month. Operating the crane, that's wild. How he fumbled that, I have no idea. That is crazy. He's better off doing that. He's way better off doing that than what he's doing now. It's crazy.
Did to the detriment of his sleeping hours, causing him to go to work on 6 hours of sleep. But if 12-hour shifts aren't extreme enough, Jordan claimed he even occasionally worked up to 16 hours due to the fact that, unlike all his co-workers who had families and thus reasons to need to go home, Jordan only had a mom. So whenever someone would miss a workday, he was the go-to employee to fill in for them. He says he hated this job so badly due to how grueling the shifts were. When he drove to work, he wished someone would T-bone his car just bad enough to break one of his legs so he could get 6 weeks off. Regardless, if it weren't for the gaming and fast food he indulged in during these free hours, this grind could have been tolerable enough for him to be able to keep it up until he could buy a house and get somewhere in life financially, instead of living with his mom in a trailer park. It would be a quite different, and probably much better, road for him to go down as a chronic underachiever who never graduated from high school. $6,000 a month is nothing to scoff at. He had a real shot.
I want to have a conversation with Wings so bad, but he won't give me the time of day. You know what I mean? He think that I'm just out here trying to attack him or something, which I'm not. Like, dude, I'm not. I just see what I see, and that's all. I do have questions for you though, man. I would be interested to talk to you, Wings, if you ever see this. But like, you ain't gonna give me the time of day. You know, I'm not like, I ain't a troll. I don't think I'm a troll. I wouldn't put me in the troll category. I'm not a troll though. I'm not a troll, you know. But like, hey, if we ever have a talk, we'll have a talk. But if we don't, it is what it is. It is what it is, man.
A good future. Unfortunately, that isn't how it went down. Just 2 years into this job, the US economy crashed, and to keep it as simple as possible, this meant banks were a lot less willing to give out loans to businesses. The issue is many businesses operate entirely on loans.
Everybody keep talking about the divorce.
They have to radically reconfigure their business model. One of these businesses was Met Glass, and because of this, they had to drastically downsize and lay off many employees, one of which was Jordy. Though they did mention that if production ever picked up again, he would be asked to return to his position. However, unlike the previous times Jordy lost a job, this time he qualified for unemployment, which gave him a decent amount of time to regroup and decide where his life was headed next without having to worry about his next paycheck. He then proceeded to use this unemployment money to get a gym membership and dedicate some of his free time to improving his diet and shedding the weight, all while developing skills in order to get a good paying job that would be less subject to the wild swings of the market. I've been Turkey Tom. Thanks for watching.
I wish he would do that now.
Thanks for watching. That's in an alternate universe. In actuality, he spent a while doing nothing noteworthy until his friend, Taylor, introduced him to a website called YouTube, where he promptly made an account in January 2008 under the name Wings.
Oh man, if it was serious, if Wings actually entertained the idea, oh man, he would charge me so much bread just to talk to him. Like he think that he's Kim Jong-un or something, you know what I mean? He would charge me. Man, I don't even want to know what he would charge me to talk to me, but we know how Wings is, man. He'll charge me $500 for 3 minutes or some shit. Those are crazy Those are crazy prostitute numbers.
Redemption, which he explains is his take on King Tut's curse, which read, "Death shall come on swift wings to him that toucheth the tomb of the pharaoh." Jordy's poetic twist to it, which he attributes to his penchant for creative writing during high school, is that just as death comes swiftly on wings, so does redemption. This was just one of his gamer tags besides unlimited UAV, in reference to the fact that in Call of Duty, you got the radar perk when you killed 3 people without dying, which was when Jordy usually died, and astral demigod, which is self-explanatory and maybe a bit revealing when it comes to Jordan's ego. The channel remained mostly inactive for the better part of the year until October of the next year, when he uploaded his first Call of Duty commentary video, which at the time wasn't an oversaturated genre whatsoever, meaning he had a major early adopter advantage. Plus, he had enough money at the time to purchase a capture card, which allowed him to get high-definition video, which again set him apart from most other YouTube gaming channels, who actually resorted to recording on potatoes. Last but not least, there was also the fact that Jordy's videos had actual commentary, whereas a lot of gaming creators on YouTube at the time didn't have the know-how to simultaneously record themselves talking while they play the game. For this and many other reasons, Wings quickly found a foothold in the community. The channel then gained its second and less known name, Intense Camping.
I can't believe he fumbled that bag so much. Like, he was one of the, I hate to say it, he was one of the pioneers of the gaming thing with the commentary, it seems like. And he could have took that and just built off of that, man. And he could have it's just crazy to me how his life could have turned out. But he wants to, get shot and do dominoes heists and put kittens in the buckets. That's the life he chose. You know what I mean? That's the life he chose. Doing GTA 5 dominoes heist.
Productions due to Jordy's outspoken advocacy for the camping playstyle, wherein the player is mostly stationary in a strategic position, waiting for other people to run by so that he can shoot them down, as opposed to rushing, which is when the player is constantly running around the entire map looking for opponents. This distinction may seem arbitrary and insignificant to you, and it definitely is in retrospect, but at the time, and in this specific niche, it was a hotly discussed topic in the Call of Duty community. Almost instantly, Wings embroiled himself in a controversy with fellow Call of Duty content creator Hutch, known in the game for his gamer tag, Hutch's Yo Daddy. Hutch had inadvertently helped Wings' channel grow by shouting out one of Jordy's closest associates, Z7 Taylor, the guy who inspired Wings to become a COD YouTuber in the first place, and the subscribers Taylor got trickled down to Jordy's channel. However, Jordan took issue with Hutch's rushing playstyle, which he deemed not only inferior insofar as its effectiveness, but also unrealistic and not how the game was supposed to be played in his estimation. Coincidentally, Hutch recently revealed that, for the majority of his—
I hate how Wings, and he still does this to this day, he tries to tell other people how to play the game. Like, that's ridiculous. It's like these people play the game however they want to play the game, dude. Your way is not always the right way. It's just not. And it bothers me that he do that. I could not play with a dude like that. I could not.
His life, he was also dealing with some of these same problems that Wings had been struggling with. Regardless, both men were as distant as they could be from empathizing with each other, what with being the representatives of the camping versus rushing debacle, and so they openly antagonized one another. Eventually, this boiled over into them doing a dual commentary, though it was much more amicable than either camp expected, not resulting in a conclusive debate, but instead a friendly discussion about playstyles. 2010 begins for Jordy, and on the right foot, Wings of Redemption is hired by Machinima to produce videos under their content umbrella, which at that time was significantly smaller than what they'd be just a couple of years later.
Machinima was crazy. I don't know what happened to him. I'm assuming they just fizzled out. But I remember being on YouTube back in the day. You see Machinima Sports, Machinima everything. Real.
His videos often got hundreds of thousands of views, and his channel grew to over 100,000 subscribers. This is a time when subscriber counts still meant something on YouTube. Another element about his channel that made it really—
User said Wings is urging South Carolina said it is push the age of consent to 12. Come on, bruh. That is crazy. Oh, they went bankrupt? It makes sense. It do make
successful in
sense.
comparison to other Call of Duty YouTubers was that he maintained a pretty busy upload schedule, though this did become increasingly harder to maintain as he was running out of ideas for videos. So he began to diversify, not just by playing other games and vlogging, but also frequently featuring other people in his Call of Duty videos to prevent them from stalling or becoming boring. By doing this and engaging with other people in the Call of Duty community, he meets FPS Kyle, who would later become known as FPS Russia, and Woody's Gamertag, the people with whom he would start the Painkiller Already podcast known as PKA. Surprisingly, Jordy managed to have yet another almost immediately successful endeavor with PKA, partly because of his already established success.
Wow,
as
did they really treat him like dirt?
However, I should specify that this success meant that it drew in raw viewers, but it hadn't really translated into an actual financial reward, nor did the Machinima partnership. Worried that his work with YouTube wouldn't turn a profit in time for his unemployment money to run out, in late April of 2010, around the time he started PKA, Jordy found himself another job, this time as a part-time 911 operator. As always, tall tales would ensue. While in one retelling he says he only works 3-hour shifts, in another he claimed to work for 72 hours straight, followed by a 48-hour rest period. However,
this dude is not working for 72 hours straight. Like, you gotta come up with normal people lies, Wings. Normal people lies. You don't say things like, I worked for 72 hours straight. I'm pretty sure there's people out there who do it, okay? But to be awake for 72 hours, but to be awake for a full 24 hours just does something to your psyche, okay? I can only imagine being awake for 48 hours straight. You would go insane. I'm pretty sure you start to go insane at like the whatever hour mark. 72 hours is crazy, man. 72 hours is nuts to be awake straight, let alone working. To be home for 72 hours straight, you would go nuts. I can imagine being outside a bubble for 72 hours straight. That's nuts. That's crazy.
one consistent element of his 9/11 operator story is that the most interesting call he received was from a woman who backed her car over her husband's turkey, which is a proud member of the turkey community I take offense to. 2 weeks into the job, Wings got his first check from YouTube and immediately quit to focus on it full time. As a matter of fact, the money was so good that even after being offered his job at Met Glass back, he turned it down in favor of his online work, despite the potential instability that came with it. With how astronomically promising his prospects appeared at the time, it looked as if Wings couldn't get his priorities straight. Objectively speaking, Jordy was really good at Call of Duty, managing to monetize it and become one of the first ever professional YouTubers with a loyal community.
He's definitely gonna embellish in his lies, man. And Wings is the type of dude that says so many lies, he can't keep track with them all. He can't keep track with all his lies to the point where his lies start to not make sense because they don't connect with his other lies.
Notwithstanding, he launched a successful podcast that, though it was directly related to the gaming community, didn't rely on gaming to attract and retain a viewership. For a guy with a background as poor as his, this is a stellar set of achievements. Regardless, he had a problem. He couldn't help but focus on the negative, to the point where he developed a kind of tunnel vision that prevented him from enjoying how good he had it. In the middle of 2010, he once again got caught up in a controversy, this time by making a harsh criticism.
Definitely. Shout out to Breaking Banquet, man. Shout out to Wings 007. Shout out to the Hoodlums. Shout out to all you guys, man. You guys, even though you are classified as trolls, I appreciate the editing and the things that you guys, do with your content. Breaking Banquet takes it to another level. I mean, his intros are crazy. So yeah, shout out to all you guys, man. Because without you guys, man, you guys make it easier for me and people like me to react to all the juicy stuff. And watch all the juicy stuff, without all the fluff and Wings just snoring while he's awake in his mic playing Dark Souls, So shout out to all you guys, man. I appreciate you.
Of another COD YouTuber, That Guy Who Camps, saying, "That guy who camps has like a 1.4 KD ratio and is a horrible player in general. I've played Search and Destroy with him
Normal
a few
Jinx,
times."
what's up, man?
This was in response to a negative comment on one of his
Sean
videos.
Ranklet.
At this point,
definitely shout out to Sean Ranklet, man. One of the GOATs.
Jordan had already picked up the habit of compulsively replying to negative comments, a telltale sign that someone has ego problems and is extremely sensitive as a consequence. Signs that Jordy had a temper he didn't handle well were everywhere by this point. What with his many hints of of having destroyed gaming equipment in anger during PKA episodes, as well as videos of people who happened to match up against him in Call of Duty games, only for him to rage quit when he was losing. The growing tension between Wings and the trolls in his comment section led to his channel blocking people to the tune of thousands, which, given his subscriber count of just under 100,000 at the time, is no small number. These lopsided exchanges Wings was having with his channel's haters, as he puts it, led him to become complacent and expect no further repercussions for his actions. What he didn't count on was that guy who camps was friends with none other than DJ Keemstar, who at the time led a group called Federation of Asshole Gamers, dubbed FAG for short, and decided to run a mass flagging operation on Jordy's channel. Some videos...
I don't really know much about Keemstar. On Twitter, I see him from time to time just on the For You page or whatever. You know, follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at Dougie. You know, Dougie with the 3 eyes. You know how it is. He just seems kind of douchey to me. Something about him, he just seems douchey. You know, and I don't know the guy from a hole in the wall. But just first impressions, seems kind of douchey to me. I could be wrong. I could be right. I don't know. If you know Keemstar, let me know. If he is Keemstar douchey, he seems douchey.
Of this campaign still linger on YouTube, though many of them, including the one where Jordy responded to the campaign requesting they would stop, no longer exist in original uploads. Though very little of the history of Keemstar and Wings' first bout of conflict remains, we can bridge the gap by looking at how it concluded. After a few months of the two and their respective fan bases going back and forth, while Keem never succeeded in taking Wings' channel down or blacklisting him from Machinima, Jordy responded with extreme prejudice and, at least according to Keem, was behind a successful campaign to take down the FAG channel. Machinima, seeing that two prolific creators of theirs were hurting each other's livelihoods over what is equivalent to a schoolyard fight, decided to step in and mediate to prevent any further casualties. On September 1st, 2010, fellow Machinima representative Mr. Sark hosted a conversation with the two, ideally so that they could iron out their differences and commit to a ceasefire. Despite Keemstar not having much to defend, having started the flagging campaign, which was absolutely abusing YouTube's system for his personal gain, Keemstar did make the valid point that Wings was being deceptive. In the middle of the video, Keem claims to have seen a conversation between Wings and a friend of his where he threatened lawsuits, which led him to believe Jordy was working behind the scenes to harm them and bully others into getting on board, all while he publicly posed as a harmless, innocent content creator who didn't want any part of the flame war. In the video itself, it's just Keemstar's...
yeah, this is the Turkey Tom documentary. I don't know if it's valid or not. There's some stories I've never heard before. Somebody said that it was just straight up lies and this documentary sucks. I don't know. I didn't watch it. This is my first time watching it. But there are some stories I've never heard before. Whether they're true or not, I don't know, because it's Wings. You know what I mean? No one really knows the truth when it comes to Wings. You don't make a channel called Drama Alert, developing yourself, covering online drama, making millions, asserting yourself, pretty much everything. Reasonable person. Yeah, he does make a lot of money for feeding off that stuff. He Keemstar makes a lot of money. Yeah. Okay, so there's no saying feud with H3. Yeah, that was his feud with H3 was not too long ago, if I'm thinking right. Maybe a year ago, maybe more than that by now. But I heard that I heard he's douchey, and y'all making it seem like, you know, that he's douchey. So I think that, you know, I think I'm right about that.
Word against Jordy's, but within a day of the original post, it was revealed that what the people actually got to see had been edited to preserve both Wings' image and Keemstar's privacy. In what's probably one of the most vile displays of internet tough guyism, Jordy asks if the recording had been stopped, and when given the confirmation, immediately began reading out Keemstar's personal information to him, saying that, had FAG successfully dropped his channel with the flagging, he was considering taking a trip out to New York, where Keemstar lived, meaning he was threatening real-life violence.
Well, I got you here, DJ. We stop recording now?
Yeah, we're done.
All right. Well, I got you here, DJ Keemstar. I've run some stuff by you. Is your P.O. Box 1?
That's correct. That's correct.
Is your...
That's what Keemstar look like? He look way different now. He look like, I don't know. That's weird. Keemstar do not look like that now. He does not. He does not. I do the same if I can make crazy money. Oh, yeah, I would... I'm covered. What do you just covering drama? As long as you not, I feel like if you're not making like starting problems, if you covering it, it's like the news at the end of the day, man. This whole YouTube thing is taking over everything. YouTube and it's bigger than cable now, you know? So I feel like as long as you covering the stuff, okay. But don't instigate, if that makes sense. Like, don't instigate the stuff because then you put yourself in it, and it doesn't seem as professional. But then again, like I said, Keemstar seems douchey. He seems like he's not professional. Keemstar seems like he stirs the pot. You know what I mean? Just because it gets you talked a lot. It gets you talked about more. But
Street address.
That's
I do it for
incorrect.
crazy.
That's incorrect.
Right.
I don't give my personal where I live at. I don't give that out.
Has your girlfriend name?
Yes, she is.
Is there a phone number?
Can I ask you why you're trying to get my personal information?
I'm just trying to see how much of this is correct because I gave some of this information to Fisticuffs.
You gave my personal information to Fisticuffs?
Yep.
Okay, so should I find out what trailer park you live in and announce that to the world?
What was the motivation behind this action?
Well, basically,
shit.
I did some digging, and I tried to find everything I could find out about him in case he actually did drop my YouTube channel.
Though it didn't completely tarnish Wings' image when it came out, it was one of the first concrete signals that Keem was right, and Jordy had a penchant for bullying and scare tactics whenever he thought
that's how you know that Wings, like back then, that's how he was stooped so low to get his way. It's crazy. It really is. It really
get
is.
away with it. Within 2 months of this major hit to his online PR, Wings dug an even deeper hole by uploading a video titled Beast Mode Engaged, wherein he spent most of it complaining about Call of Duty players with the kind of vitriol he usually reserved for the people in the comments. Again, he mistakes the lack of punishment he gets when he dunks on random people in the comment section for a sign that his tendencies to be negative toward other people are somehow a good thing worth putting up on his channel. Additionally, he seemed to think others would appreciate his elitism when it came to Call of Duty stats, which he evidently cared for way more than he should, as we'll later find out. The video was not received well whatsoever, which prompted him to make another one talking about it, but that did nothing to redeem the damage it caused to his image, especially as a representative of Machinima. Not only did it get video responses lambasting
I don't live in a trailer park, bud.
It, but people in game forums are spreading the news that basically Wings was a toxic player. I just watched the video that you linked and another where he went 47-0. I always thought I was a stat, but holy shit, that's all this guy cares about. My KD in Black Ops just hit 7 at one point, but I realized that there comes a time when you have to have fun and not just think about statistics that mean nothing. He seriously needs to take this advice. From his videos, all I saw and heard were him camping, him talking about how good he is or how bad others are, and him whining that if people voice their opinions of him, he will block them, as stated in the 47-0 video. So he's afraid to take a little abuse, but he's willing to put up a video where he hates on some random person for 8.5 minutes for thousands of people to
shout out to Lazy Stone, man. Lazy Stone hit me with the $4.99 super chat. That's crazy. That's my first super chat. I didn't think I was gonna ever get a super chat. That's crazy. I appreciate it. Lazy Stone, for real. You've been around since Dougie was first, was first born. So I'm losing my words and stuff. Thank you. I appreciate it, Lazy Stone, for real. I do appreciate it.
see. Boy, you sure are a stand-up individual. Besides his already notorious negative in-game behavior towards other players, over at PKA, Wings routinely revealed that he tended to break gaming equipment and even monitors in frustration over lost matches. What's frustrating is that he made no effort to conceal how expensive some of his stuff was, but even then, he seemed to not care at all when he destroyed parts of it, a fact that became even more egregious later on when he began to have money issues, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. As the year 2011 began, the focus shifted to more positive aspects of his online personality. For example,
no memberships on? No, I don't know how to do the memberships thing, man. I don't know how to do the membership thing. I don't know how to do that. I was looking into it, but like, you know, I don't know.
He bought and sent a specialized controller to a fellow disabled gamer and YouTuber, Act A Capper, a fact that he continued to mention well over a year after it happened, though Act A Capper was still very grateful, not only for the controller, but also for the subscribers that came with Wings' charitable act. Besides this, he also made a video promoting a fundraiser for the hyperbaric chamber treatment of a girl with cerebral palsy named Ashley Seals. After it successfully drew in $8,000 from donors, he completed the goal with another $2,000 out of his own pocket. I could be cynical and say this was exclusively done for PR purposes, but honestly, even if that is the case to some extent, what he did here is very admirable, despite his other flaws. On PKA, he and Woody discuss Ashley's situation, and Wings mentions the money won't be going just to her treatment, but also towards getting her a new wheelchair.
I figured I'd step in and see what I could do to help. I mean, worst comes to worst, I help somebody at the end of the day. Because you lose, you'll
Super
earn and
simple,
lose
yeah,
money throughout your
probably.
entire
I just never
life.
looked into
It's
it.
what you do with your money when you have it is what defines you.
It's crazy. Wayne seems like the type of dude to only do something like this if it benefits him. You know what I mean? Maybe would there be something as simple as, hey, Wings is doing this, so it makes him look good. Anything kind of benefits you. You know what I mean? 30% right off the rip. That's it. Then Uncle Sam takes a cut. Y'all crazy, man. Y'all crazy. You don't like the idea that I don't like that either. I feel like, and that's like one of my main gripes with social media nowadays. One of the things, along with pranks, I think the social pranks is stupid. Somebody just got shot in like a mall doing a stupid prank. If you're going to do an act of goodwill, don't record it. Like if I'm a homeless person or if I'm struggling and I see a person come up to me with some shoes or some money and stuff, I don't want to be put on camera. I'm not a zoo animal. You know what I mean? I hate that. I hate that. If you go volunteer at a soup kitchen, stuff like, don't post it on the internet. I feel like you're when you do stuff like that, you searching for outside validation. That's how it comes across, and that's what you're doing. There's no other reason to record and then post it that you're helping out a homeless person or whatever. You're looking for eyeballs or saying, "Hey, everybody, I did this." Come on. I hate that.
As a person, I mean, I could go take that $2,000 and buy like some sound system that I might sell later for $300, or I could take that $2,000 and give it to somebody and see a physical change in somebody's life and have a memory that will last me longer than a sound system.
And that treatment was so successful that just a few months after, in a follow-up video on Wings' channel, Ashley is seen walking. Quite the silver lining on the dark clouds of these trying times. It was also around this time that he met his girlfriend, Shailene, through the dating website Plenty of Fish. Again,
that's a fact. I mean, to be, play devil's advocate, at least it did help the girl, so at least, and like when the people do record helping out the homeless, at least they are giving like the homeless person the 50, but it's like, you don't have to record them, just giving them money and just have that self-fulfillment that you did something good. You know what I mean? But they did help the homeless person. They did help this girl for this case, so yeah.
Despite his many shortcomings and character flaws, one bad trait Wings definitely didn't possess is greed. Almost to a fault. As soon as they started dating, he started supporting her and her 2 children financially in every way, even providing them with a car. Given how inexperienced he certainly was when it came to handling relationships, it's obvious he got overeager and started splurging on them as if they were his actual family already. However, since he had more than enough money to afford to do this, it didn't immediately create an issue. Another unbecomingly genius move from Wings was that PKA episodes, along with his other projects, were being live streamed on Justin.tv, which would later become known as Twitch. Over on the business side of his life, things ran smoothly. That is, until the fateful PKA 67 in August 2012, when, for a guest, they had fellow Call of Duty YouTuber The Syndicate Project. With Wings' entire life being Call of Duty, from the get-go, the expectations were high that there would be some kind of tension or argument over something related to the game, but no one expected it to get as bad as it did. Over the course of the podcast, Wings repeatedly belittled and underestimated Syndicate's gaming ability while bragging about his own camping playstyle, which culminated
this I remember. I remember the whole Syndicate thing. I do remember that.
In him claiming he could outdo Syndicate in a zombies match, which was rich considering that it was precisely Syndicate's area of expertise, which added a lot of oomph to the claim. This would almost immediately prove to be a big mistake on Jordy's part, as not only Syndicate, but everyone present on the podcast immediately perked up, excited at the prospect of a competition between the two taking place as an after show to the podcast.
Yeah,
Whoever won, and whatever point it proved, one thing was guaranteed: it would attract more eyes to PKA. Wings noticed that his mouth took him somewhere he didn't want to be and tried to walk back his statements, giving excuses about how the game would take too long to finish and it just wouldn't be worth the time. However, after being thoroughly pressed to not back out of the duel, he conceded and accepted the challenge. The challenge he himself opposed, by the way. As soon as the podcast ended, the match began, and things seemed to be going Jordy's way. When he started dying and lost the vantage point he had acquired early on, the air shifted, and it was evident Syndicate was taking the lead at a very fast rate, causing Jordy to become audibly frustrated. As the match,
I will say this though about all you guys are genuinely funny, man. you guys, when you guys comment on my videos or I see you guys comment and stuff, I see a lot of you guys when I'm making my videos and I see you in the in the wings chat. I see you guys are genuinely funny. Like, you guys aren't toxic. You guys aren't, you know, you guys ain't none of that. You guys are really funny, and you guys, you guys got me crying, man. You guys knows wings dialogue word by word, bar by bar. Y'all got that. Why the fuck you stream this? You guys are funny, man. I love y'all for real.
Came to a close, Wings completely lost his temper, hurling insults at everyone else on the call and destroying his controller.
Wings, did you spawn in?
Definitely the best community.
I broke my controller.
You broke your controller?
Somebody just said that too.
Yeah, keep fucking laughing, you fucking.
Oh, Wings, I've been
Oh, don't suck. Okay.
Yeah, been there, man.
You.
Me?
Wings cares about his ego so damn much, man. That is crazy. I broke my controller. That is wild, man.
Why the f you stream that shit?
It was your idea.
No, I didn't say stream it.
Yeah, I thought it was your idea.
This devastating loss to Syndicate cemented Wings as someone forever doomed to fail no matter what he did. At least that's what he thought. Wings then chose to mindlessly attack Syndicate when he had simply lost a game fair and square to him, and if that wasn't bad enough, he became aggravated against Woody, who, even after being insulted, acted as nothing but a good friend to Wings.
Yeah, my favorite Wings moment is ban anybody who knows what I just said. That is the craziest shit I've ever heard. Ban anybody who knows what I just said. That's gotta be my favorite moment. I'm pretty sure if I think about it, I could top it, but that's the first thing that comes to my mind. 199 again for Lazy Stone, man. There's a small cameo of you at 1713. You see it? Nah, I didn't see it. Where we at? 1713, you said? A small cameo of you at 1713. Thank you for the donor, by the way. I really do appreciate it. 1713. Hold on. Oh, where were we at before? 27? All right, let's see.
Led to his channel blocking people to the tune of thousands, which, given his subscriber count of just under 100,
hey, that's Dougie right there. I didn't even see that. Yo, y'all attention to detail is crazy. That is nuts. I didn't even see that. Me right there, all pixelated. Looking like a SNES character. That's crazy. Wow. Shout out to Lazy Stone, man. Shout out to Lazy Stone. That was a good eye.
$500 a day. I got a family to feed, so money's a big deal to me. You said you wanted to bury the hatchet. What better way to do it than for both of us to make money? And I beat you by
big ups,
1
Lazy
kill
Stone.
in Game 5.
For real, Lazy Stone. Big ups, man. I really do appreciate it. 2648. Got you. Got you. See, that's why I like y'all.
Against Woody, who, even after being insulted, acted as nothing but a good friend to Wings, even shutting the stream down just to placate Jordy's childish rage. This belligerent behavior not only destroyed his reputation, but became a defining moment that would continue to fuel his trolls for many years to come, and all because of Jordy's petty pride over being good at Call of Duty. Of all things in the world to be proud about. Adding insult to injury, he took to Skype to further embarrass himself with Syndicate, offering money in exchange for a fixed rematch, which Syndicate wisely refused. The chat logs were promptly shared with the public, which left Wings' reputation in a complete freefall. Got a deal for you. I got Alky David willing.
I remember that when he tossed his controller. He was too lazy to get out the chair. That was crazy. That was a funny ass moment. It really was.
To put up $5,000, you get $3,000. I get $2,000, but I have to come out on top. It's free money. Sound like a good deal or want no part of it? No, not at all. I'm not taking part in that. I'd rather earn money. Well, I need this kind of money. I don't make $2,500 a day. I got a family to feed, so money's a big deal to me. You said you wanted to bury the hatchet. What better way to do it than for both of us to make money? And I beat you by 1 kill in Game 5. It's $1,000 to lose a game you're not expected to win. It's regardless of the money, you want to come out on top in this situation. You just made it 10 times worse. No way, Wings. You just blew it big style. Following the loss and the subsequent fall.
Yeah, that is wild, man, to to pretty much like set that up behind the scenes is so bad. And you can't say expect to win when you got your ass mopped the first time. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure that Syndicate would have been the betting favorite. But you to do something like that behind the scenes is so dirty, man, so diabolical. Because it's because these people, you guys aren't stupid. You guys don't, you know what I mean? You guys can figure this stuff out. And it's just, I hate when people insult other people's intelligence. Because it's not cool, man. Especially Wings. You're not the smartest dude in the room. You damn sure not the smartest dude in the room. You thought you needed a passport to go to Chicago. Come on, man. A passport to go to Chicago. Illinois. Nah, man. You're not the smartest dude in the room. You're not going to play your whole chat or all your fans. And this was at your heyday. You know, more fans than you have now. You're not going to play them, man. They're not stupid.
Followed in the community, Wings posted videos expressing regret for his behavior, immediately followed by videos discussing his life and weight problems. This too was a pattern rearing its head. Whenever one thing went wrong in his life, no matter how mild or seemingly insignificant, it would trigger every other bad tendency Wings had and make them manifest. In November 2011, there's a brief break from this otherwise dark period in Wings' history, as when showing his Mosin Nagant sniper rifle to his audience during a stream, Jordy accidentally rams the bayonet into his TV, instantly puncturing the screen and breaking it. This was one of the first of Wings' many live stream blunders to get clipped and go viral, but it was just a minor distraction from the increasingly dark backdrop that was Jordy's domestic life. While he did seem to genuinely enjoy embracing the role of a father figure to Shaylene's kids, an enjoyment so great he made multiple videos to express it, it was his relationship with Shaylene that was showing signs of unhealthiness. Both Shaylene and Jordy were extremely overweight, and because of their matching pathologies, accentuated each other's terrible eating habits. Earlier on in the year, Jordy had already expressed his desire to lose weight, only to punctuate it by saying that he planned to do it with the help of weight loss pills. Everybody with half a brain knows that as soon as a medical intervention of any kind precedes the obviously necessary change in lifestyle,
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure weight loss pills don't work. I'm pretty sure they're all a scam. Like, I'm think that you can get some prescribed to you where like it like suppresses your hunger or something like that. But I'm pretty sure when it comes to like going online or something and trying to get weight loss pills, there's no such thing as weight loss pills, man. I don't think that there is. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Weight is lost will be instantly gained back, and that's if there is any weight loss in the first place. It essentially means they're not that serious about losing weight and want to take a shortcut. Said and done, Wings was taking phentermine for most of the year, a drug that's
Yes, this is why I love y'all. A band raising another man's kids for love, please. That name had me in tears. It was that name. It was Modular Mansion, a dude named Modular Mansion. It was a dude named Brandon. It was a dude named Brandon got blacked. It was funny, man. He set up an email and yeah, about page. Oh yeah, I'll do all that stuff, man. I didn't honestly, man. I didn't think anybody want to contact me. That's why I don't put my Twitters and my socials on here. I'm like, you know, you guys want to watch the Wings and stuff. I didn't think I wanted to talk, but yeah, I'll make sure I drop an email and all my socials down there in the about section of my channel. That's crazy. You're not supposed to eat the food with pills. My screen is shaking is crazy. Yo, because the dude's screen was shaking. Yo, man. I gotta watch another time, maybe next time. I'm gonna watch a band compilation because those are the creme de la creme of the content, in my opinion. Because the names are funny as hell. You like when I say that you guys are funny, you guys are real funny. And I hate that he don't like y'all. He don't rock with y'all, but y'all funny. He should be embracing it. He would have more fans and stuff if he just embraced all the stuff. Like DSP would have more fans if he kind of embraced the accident of May 1st or whatever the date was. You know, is instead of, you know, they gotta embrace this stuff. They got to. You guys are funny, man. Like my screen is shaking. He got all bent out of shape because somebody said his screen is shaking. He banned him, pretty sure. Like, what are you doing, dude? Come on.
It's supposed to diminish your appetite. As is clearly visible through the rest of the year, it was not doing its job as Jordy continued to...
Time out now. Lazy Stone. 80K? He lost 80K? There's no way he lost 80K. He lost 80K? About high school girls. Somebody did say that. A couple people mentioned the high school girl thing. 007 channel. Might have to watch that too. That is crazy. Cause somebody confirmed the 80K thing? It was 80K? They don't know how to laugh. You gotta laugh at yourself. His first girl. 80K is wild. I covered it in the video. I probably did. I've been doing this for so long that this stuff is just crazy to me. Just hearing it. I think that's what it is. Hearing it. 80K is crazy. 80K is crazy.
Self-destruct via caloric intake. All the way up to October,
shout out to you,
he can be
W
seen
memory,
eating fast
W memory.
food and videos without a care in the world. In November, he starts doing a diet vlog, which he supposedly has started with Shaylene's cooperation. Unsurprisingly, very soon after, she's seen drinking a large Coke in one of his videos. Even if his resolve was genuine to this point, it's clear he was actively being discouraged from living a healthier lifestyle by his environment. And for a guy that has as hard of a time losing weight by himself as Wings does, he doesn't need any encouragement to gorge on soft drinks and junk food all day. Finally, the year 2012 began, and just 3 months in, on March 8th, Jordy and Shailene break up, but only after he had already spent over $80,000 on her and her family. This raised more concerns about his ability to control his finances, which is of paramount importance if you rely on something as fickle as revenue from YouTube, especially back then. In the video where he talks about this, he reminds his audience that he made much more than an average person makes on YouTube, but that paying for Shailene and her kids stressed him out too much, to the point where he was beginning to struggle to even make videos. He also brings up the topic of getting a lap band surgery to lose more weight, which again signals how poor his perspective on weight loss still was after all this time. Exercise wasn't even a consideration, never mind a better diet. According to him, they sold the car they bought and split the money, which gave him some financial leeway. Around the same time, possibly the first ever compilation of clips of Wings raging while playing Call of Duty gets published. Casual followers of Jordy were being shown the full picture, that his temper issues had a much wider span than the Syndicate spat, as there are clips in which he's making detailed death threats to someone else in a lobby. Even if he wasn't serious about all of them, the fact that he's willing to do that while being a relatively public figure and indirectly representing a company.
I'm surprised we didn't get to the racist stuff. We didn't get to the racist. We didn't get to the age of consent thing. We didn't get to the good stuff yet. Depends Wingo for beating the surgery. Yeah, shout out to Wingo for beating the surgery. Always gotta respect Wings for beating the surgery.
Company shows how emotionally maladjusted he was. Just 5 months later, he found himself a new girlfriend named Brandy, but the joy was dampened by the fact that his channel's growth had slowed significantly after reaching 400,000 subscribers. It's bad enough that his channel had stagnated, but it's worth noting that he was falling way behind creators so he had originally come up with.
He don't cover the racism and the age of consent thing, man. Come on, I was rocking with this documentary too. You gotta have, if you're gonna have the juice, you gotta have all the juice. Gotta have all the juice.
With. For example, Woody's gamertag, back in 2010, was still on his way to hitting 10,000 subs when Wings was already in the tens of thousands and continued to grow with ease. Fast forward to 2012, and Woody had comfortably surpassed the 1 million subs milestone, while Wings had just managed to crawl his way to the 400,000 mark. As his average view count began to decrease despite his incessant upload schedule of up to 3 videos a day, so did his income, though this didn't stop him from buying another truck. At this point, Wings' vlogging content started to become more prominent.
A weird obsession with trucks. Brandy. The Brandy story gets you every time, man. The Brandy stuff is fun
on his channel, partly because it required less effort, and partly because he wanted to see if another form of content could potentially be successful besides his gaming stuff. Unfortunately, this apparent lack of direction further hurt his channel's ability to pull in views. All of this led Wings to make a Hail Mary effort to try and regain momentum. His idea to accomplish this was to put together and post an elaborate video celebrating his channel's milestone of 100 million views.
I seen that. I think that was my last video. He said that he can't eat in large quantities in one sitting. Like, he can only eat, what did he say? He can only eat whatever chicken nuggets or chicken tenders in a time. We not buying that, dude. We are not buying that. You can only eat a few chicken tenders in one sitting and then I'll go back to it later, eat the rest of it. No, you don't. Stop, man. No, you don't. You killed that whole damn plate in one sitting. You were just eating in front of your chat. That's why you was trying to act like that. Brandy did more than Brandy did more for the black community than MLK. I can confirm. I can confirm. She was busting it wide open for the black community. She did more for the black community than MLK, man. Brandy sure did. Everybody but Dougie got a piece of that. I think I pass on that.
However, when it underperformed in regards to his expectations, it plunged him into a downward spiral and led him to exhibit the kind of negativity Wings eventually became synonymous with. On Twitter, he made multiple threats of doing something drastic. While there's no concrete evidence of what exactly was said, in September 2012, multiple YouTubers from the Call of Duty community made videos addressing the situation, including more well-known names like Overtflow and Nadeshot. The short of it is, just a little while after involving himself in some drama with his opinions on the Call.
Now, what gets me is that all of these like Wings' exes, like no one's ever reached out to them and was like, hey man, we like, cause Wings, like y'all, like his trolls are crazy. Like they can go and find some shit out. So I respect y'all. I'm gonna make sure I stay on y'all good side. They know how to find out your blood type. You know what I mean? They'll clone you. They like Wings' trolls is crazy. So like I'm surprised they didn't go out and like reach out to these his exes and be like, hey, how was Wings? And like give him like a little interview or something, you know what I mean? Like Brandy. There's no Brandy interview out there besides the black couch. You know? You know what I mean? Come on, man. They ain't interviewed the other one, Charlene, Darlene, whatever her name was.
Call of Duty competitive gaming scene, Wings took to Twitter to despondently complain that his videos were steadily declining in views, as exemplified by the failure of his milestone video. This worried him because of his financial dependency on them as his livelihood. Plus, he was in debt to the IRS due to his failure to pay taxes for his peak earning period, further stressing his necessity to make money. All of these feelings of pressure and hopelessness led him to suggest he was considering dying via a confrontation with the police, something that wasn't taken lightly whatsoever by the COD community. In response to these tweets, someone told him to keep himself safe, if you know what I mean, to which Wings responded with, if I do it, I'll take El Presador with me. Again, this added fuel to the fire since Jordy was pairing very serious claims with seemingly petty beefs he had.
I wish this, talking about the crazy things he said, like this dude, like, talk about the school shootings and the mass shootings, has you ever planned the mass shootings? He said he has. I wish they talked about it because it's crazy and it should be highlighted. That he said some crazy stuff that shouldn't go unnoticed, you know?
People from the community, which made his online meltdown look like it was done for attention. Not only did El Presador join into this spat, threatening to call the FBI on Wings over what he was saying, but other people from the community, such as White Boy 7th Street and D Ranker, chimed in, saying Jordy had never worked a real job and was just doing what he was doing for attention. All of this culminated in a nearly 2-hour-long intervention held by Keemstar that included everyone involved in the situation. For most of it, White Boy goes into detail about his reading of Jordy's episode, saying that he's doing what a 13-year-old girl would do by threatening radical things to get attention. Adding to this that when Wings is in a favorable position, he brags and talks down to other people, but whenever he's mildly inconvenienced, he puts on the role of a victim and acts like it's unfair that he's in the situation he's in. This is backed up by the fact that early on in the video, Wings is gloating about how much more money he makes online than D Ranker does in his real job, immediately followed by him excusing his financial instability with the claim that he supports 9 people with his income, and I actually have no clue what he means by this, considering that at this point he was no longer dating Shailene and should have some level of financial freedom, and even if he was dating Shailene, that would make him plus 3, not 9 people. Later on, when he's confronted by White Boy about his behavior on Twitter, Jordy's defense is simply claiming White Boy makes way more money than him and thus could never understand where Jordy's coming from. You actually couldn't make someone look like more of a hypocrite if you tried. Not to validate or entirely invalidate.
Have I seen El Presador's Wings impression? No, I haven't. I have not seen his impression. I like impressions. I do like impressions. I could do a couple, but I ain't gonna do them here. Not the time nor the place. I like impressions. So if somebody could do a good Wings impression, I'm interested. I'm interested as hell. Wings and pressure.
either side of this discussion, but to act as if the sole cause of Wings' behavior is his financial situation is willful ignorance at the very least. When White Boy doubled down on accusing Wings of making fake threats to get views and attention, Jordy reacts by throwing his microphone away in anger, only solidifying that the real underlying issue is Jordy's absolute inability to face anything resembling a challenge. This is just one of the many moments that make it clear that his problems run much deeper than him not getting as much money or as many views as he thinks he deserves. On the other hand, this intervention does hold the surprise of Keemstar being the voice of reason, or at least one of the voices of reason, along with Woody, who also participated in the episode. Both of them spend a good amount of time reassuring Wings that he not only could, but should reinvent himself. And even if it didn't immediately pay off, it would eventually, with a little time and effort put in. Unfortunately, Jordy's I
don't know about hitting gold, but I appreciate it. And the previous stories, they did some crazy info. One of his exes, he used to insert stories and his. Whoa. Wings put, hold on. This a lot. This is a lot to digest. Wings put suppositories in his ex's child without a doctor even prescribing it. That if that's true, that is beyond crazy. You can't. That is wild. That is wild. Come on, Wings. Oh my lord. oh my lord.
Pity spoke louder than any of the sensible advice that people on this call could provide. Perhaps the most tragic part of it is that Woody still seemed to deeply care about Jordy and was intent on defending him even when Wings did his best to be indefensible. In regards to the veiled threat towards El Presador, Wings played it off as if it were an obvious joke, and that not only did he not even know where Presador lived, but even if he did, he could have no way of getting there. If it were any other person, maybe that excuse would fly, but considering Wings' wide arsenal of guns and his previous threat against Keemstar's life, El Presador had a lot of reasons to take it seriously. While the rest of the year played out uneventfully, with one exception of KSI dedicating the beginning of his diss track to Wings, 2013 held even more blows to Jordy's stability. His upload schedule slowed down further and further.
We're gonna do some more LTG stuff. I gotta get into more low tier God. I really do, because low tier God seemed like he off the deep end, and I really do gotta get into some more lower tier guys. So that's definitely on my thing. There was low tier God, DSP. I think I'm gonna leave Cyrax alone because he scared me. Like Cyrax scared me. Cyrax looked like he can survive a nuclear attack. Cyrax looked creepy, so I think I'm gonna leave Cyrax alone. You know what I mean? I don't need him crawling through my outlets or something. You know, I don't. Nah, he looked like Germex. I'm good on Cyrax. But there's a couple other dudes that I plan on getting to. But it's like every time I open YouTube, I get on here, go to YouTube, I see something about Wings. It was on my front page. YouTube knows what I want. Just Wings. I'm like, so for instance, today, I go on YouTube and I see the thing about 007's video. And he said something about high school girls. I seen Wings of Redemption. I seen high school girls. I'm like, oh man, I want to watch this. I got a live stream. So we might get to that. I'm not sure, but if I don't, I'll definitely make a video on that. But I see Wings on my timeline all the time. All the time I see Wings on my timeline.
Due to him losing hope and recovering his audience,
Cyrax is sad.
Down in the mire of his own pessimistic thoughts. Eventually, this led Wings to get dropped by Machinima,
Richard,
and he had to join another content creator group, Full Screen. On a small side note, it's a little strange to remember how big of a deal these were on YouTube before monetization.
You know, when I made my LTG video, somebody did tell me that he likes the flag stuff. Somebody did say that. I heard a Liquid Richard. I ain't heard Carrie Diamond, I don't think. It was only like a minute long. Yeah, actually, a sociopath and a narcissist for jarring and directing Wings. Hilarious moments. Yeah, he seems like like I said, off the deep end. Like that don't even seem like it scratches the surface with LTG. He really seemed like he need help. Like he seemed off. He seems off. Wings of Redemption exposed enema. That's crazy.
monetization became what it is right now.
The
and made them
internet,
pretty much
all this stuff, man, all these people that we talking about, people like Wings, people like LTG, people like DSP, people like Cyrax, people like all these dudes. The internet ain't for everybody. The internet ain't for everybody. It is just crazy. I think Boogie was another dude I wanted to get into, man. Boogie seems like he had it all and then he lost it all, and he holds on to it so bad, it's so hard. Pause. That sounded crazy. but I used to watch Boogie back in the day. But it just seems like he just turned into, I don't know what Boogie turned into, man. I ain't gonna go down that rabbit hole. That's another story.
much irrelevant. Machinima and Fullscreen eventually merged into one company before receiving the death blow in 2020 and apparently ceasing to exist altogether. But back to Wings, his changing creator groups coincided with him now only managing to get half the views he used to, and consequently half the money, straining his finances even tighter than they already were. Just 6 days into his partnership with Fullscreen, he was asking people on Twitter and Facebook how to leave their partnership due to how slow their support was, and his account being used by the network to like the content of their other creators. Something he claimed was hidden in the contract. If that sequence of events wasn't bad enough already, in June of the same year, Brandy broke up with him, sending him deeper into the abyss of his depression. The continuous decline of Wings' online presence, and the very real, looming possibility of him losing a source of income took a severe toll on his mental state and personality. But the breakup pushed him over the edge, as he lost one of his last sources of validation. All of this led to him posting a video he later deleted called Rock Bottom, where he showed an unusual amount of honesty with himself.
I fail at every diet I take. I fail at every workout regimen I ever do. I give up so easily. I've never succeeded in anything. And people could say I've succeeded in YouTube, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels like every time I look, there's another new channel that's just in full throttle passing me.
And J-Dad,
man, J-Dad just left, but he popped in with the super chat, man. Shout out to J-Dad. He always there showing love on the videos and stuff, man. Much like a lot of you guys. Shout out to J-Dad. Appreciate you, bro. Brandy Black, come on, man. Shout out to J-Dad. I appreciate the super chat. I really do. That's crazy. When I do this YouTube thing, man, I ain't never think that I was gonna get no monetization of any way, shape, or form. But I am very, very appreciative of it. I'm not gonna be like Wings and just like see the super chat and act like it never happened, or be like, oh wow, thanks for the $20. And like, nah, I appreciate it. I really do.
Savings to cover bills since his channel stopped being profitable, as well as expressing that he didn't understand why his content simply didn't succeed, causing him to feel like he was a failure and there was nothing he could do about it. On top of that, he says Brandy was the only thing helping him with the cabin fever he developed as a result.
Oh, God, Brandy looked like that. All jokes aside, she looked like she liked black dudes. She don't. Yeah, she definitely smashes black dudes for weed. I'm familiar with her game. I know what she do. That's nasty. She looked nasty.
Of the grueling hours he had to put into his channel.
She looked like Ursula from the Little Mermaid.
Grind in order to keep it afloat. And her no longer being there for him was a terrible prospect. Unable to take anyone out because he couldn't afford the money or time to do so, his only realistic option left was to continue to grind.
How does it feel to be like Wingo with the donations? I feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like you guys don't have to do that stuff. Like the donations and stuff. The fact that you guys do it when you don't have to is crazy to me. Appreciative isn't the word. Like, y'all work hard for y'all money. Like, I work hard for my money. Y'all work hard for y'all money. The fact that y'all want to do that and donate anything, 30 cents, $1, y'all donating $10, $5. It's crazy. Just Dougie appreciates it. I'd appreciate it. You know, I appreciate it for real. I do. Yep, Brandy cuts her hair short. She cuts her hair short. Brandy was the best looking girl he had. Yo. Average BBB. Average BBC enjoy it. Yeah, she seems like the average BBC enjoy it. That's crazy.
grind
crazy.
COD content, which
Best
he didn't
looking
want
what?
to do because, as he said, he'd grown to hate the game, which was a problem since it was his channel's bread and butter. Despite being seemingly stuck between a rock and a hard place, his friends at PKA refused to give up on him and continued to explore ways to lift him out of his slump. They ultimately settled on an idea proposed by FPS Kyle, a weight loss boot camp that will be made into a series of videos. This concept resonated with the community so much that many turned out in support of the
You can't eat bag, man. I can't. To come up on here on the internet and people like DSP saying, I need $150 or my lights is getting turned off. Well, my thing, we don't want to hear that, dude. Your viewers don't want to hear that. I can't get down with the e-begging thing, man. I just can't, man. It's not, your finances aren't the viewers' responsibility. If you want more money, just either stream longer, or come out with better content. That's like where I kind of stand on it. You know, that's just how it just seems like it makes sense to me. But don't talk about it because for one, we not here. You know, if the title of your stream say Let's Play Call of Duty or Let's Play Street Fighter or Let's Play whatever, Final Fantasy, whatever it is, you shouldn't be talking about your damn finances. We don't care. We don't care.
GoFundMe page created for it, successfly raising over $8,000, which was
bills,
well over
player.
3 times the initial goal.
Though somebody said a couple videos back, somebody was like, Wings, when's the last time? He said, Wings, when was the last time you pleased your wife? He said, when was the last time I pleased my wife? When was the last time you pleased my wife with a donation? Yo, he begging hard lately. He really has.
It's true that his channel wasn't growing and he was losing viewers. Wings still had a core audience that cared about him. Either because they saw a little bit of themselves in him, or because if Wings could do it, it meant anybody could improve. One of the people who prominently spoke out.
Yo, Wings, I keep pausing. I apologize, but I like talking to you. Well, I said Wings. DSP, the camera's on. Camera's on the whole time, huh? Hello. That was weird. That's why that has to be one of the weirdest things on the internet. Probably, I don't know, weird or cringy, maybe even both. This is wild. Oh, the camera's on. Camera's on the whole time. He was spanking his monkey. His head was whipping back and stuff. Like you had the PS4 menu music in the background. Like, how you getting off? How you getting off to the PS4 menu music, bro? Not even the diehard Sony fans is gonna get off and excited the PS4 menu music. And then he was like, "Oh, well, you're bringing this up, and that was a point in my life where I was depressed. So people only spank their monkey when they depressed. Come on, man, you just spank your monkey. You was beating off the beat off, DSP. What you talking about? You don't try to say he was depressed. Come on, man. He was whipping your head back. You needed an exorcism, man."
Out in support of this project was none other than Boogie2988. By October, the boot camp project started, and Wings managed to shed 25 pounds in just 2 weeks of exercise. But as soon as this happened, Jordy expressed losing motivation and feeling like he had hit a plateau and planned to quit the project. After another intervention from his PKA buddies, and an effective one at that, Jordy persevered and lost an additional 20 pounds.
I did hear that DSP, side note, I did hear that DSP was like going through something personal that he didn't want to bring up, and the first thing that people speculated towards was a divorce. Man, if DSP and Wings get a divorce at the same time, internet might explode. Everybody talking about that stuff, man. It is crazy. Like I said before, I hope it's not a divorce. I don't want none of these guys to get divorced because I don't know, people like, especially people like Wings, when he's already at his lowest and then he get put down another peg lower, you just don't know what these guys are capable of, especially when this dude already said that he's thought about mass shootings and stuff like that, because at some point he's gonna feel like he got nothing to lose and he might do something crazy. That's all jokes aside.
pounds. While many attribute his staggering weight loss during this time period to
He's getting it from
exercise, Wings
Tyrone.
himself accurately points out that the real reason behind it was the fact that, while he was at Kyle's house to do the boot camp, Kyle's friend and manager, Paintball Kitty, worked 3 feet from the pantry,
Yeah, I try
preventing
my
him from
best to,
sneaking
you
junk
know.
food. As the funds from the boot camp dwindled and the project came to an end, Wings returned to his humble modular abode, and along with it came the danger of Jordy returning to his old eating habits and regaining the weight. To avoid this, Wings took up walking, and using the leftover money from the GoFundMe project, he went to the local Planet Fitness and asked if he could hire a personal trainer, which led him to meet Drew. While Drew was obviously a great influence on Wings and motivated him to keep training, this development also raised some concerns, namely that it tied his weight loss efforts to financial costs, meaning when the money ran out, and it definitely would since Jordy was still in
Yeah, that too, man. I don't want to do the off himself, for real. They want here in the chat for troll Wings and Wings got mad at you. There was one point where, like, I think I put up a I don't know what YouTube calls it, but like the story thing. I asked if you guys ever been blocked or trolled or stuff. There was a lot of you guys who actually have been blocked by Wings. So
dire straits, the training would cease. Regardless, while he had Drew to back him up, Jordy successfully staved off not just his weight, but also his depression. However, in 2014, after some complications resulting from Drew sleeping with a client of his, which thankfully wasn't Jordy, Wings would potentially have to continue on his weight loss journey alone, which greatly jeopardized his progress. It's also around this time that Jordy was interviewed by How I Became, giving some insight as to how he came up on YouTube. During PKA 172, another idea involving Wings' participation was proposed. A survivor show where they would camp out in the wilderness for 4 days in the middle of April. Interestingly enough, when the idea was pitched and one of the members of PKA at the time, Lefty, said they wanted no part in it, Jordy called him a coward for being hesitant. While Wings occasionally portrayed himself as the most confident about the survivor show, he also seemed to be the person who cared the least about preparing. Besides buying significantly fewer supplies than his PKA partners, he also gave up on trying to learn how to make a fire after 4 attempts, despite it being considered a paramount skill to have by everyone else who was going. As the date of the trip approached, the sign Jordy had more reservations than he initially let on began ramping up, with him attempting to
yeah, you would think that if he was struggling with money, he wouldn't have money for fast food anymore, which means he would, you know what I mean, lose some weight. You would think that would make sense, right? That math just don't, I guess it just don't apply to Wings. Because he's hurting so much, but he got money for Zaxby's and these chicken tenders and the big old. He's like, look at this large, y'all. It's pitiful. Like, come on, man. You're not hurting that much if you whatever. Just like DSP be talking about how much he's hurting and stuff, but he getting all these new releases. He's getting all of this. Now, granted, sometimes I guess some fans be donating codes or whatever to DSP so he can play the new releases. But still, man, like you either hurting or you ain't hurting. You either broke or you're not broke. You can't be medium broke. I mean, I guess you can be, but you know what I mean. Not to the point where like you begging on the internet for money.
postpone it over ludicrous excuses, such as April being the month of his birthday, so it should be moved to May. As was expected by the more observant followers of PKA,
subscribe,
on the day
donate,
of the
or get
trip,
the fuck
while
out.
Kyle was driving to the motel where he would sleep the night before entering the woods, he messaged Wings to confirm his attendance, only to receive a response that he wouldn't be coming.
Alright, so I don't know, we were about 40 miles in earlier, now we are like 162 miles into this trip, and I texted Wings of Redemption, and I said, I'm not gonna, pretty much verbatim, I said, hey buddy, are we still on for tomorrow? Because keep in mind, it's 11 p.m. right now, we're supposed to meet at the bait shop at 8:30 a.m. So, 9 hours from right now. And I also included, and also, do you have everything you need? Because I've got extras of a lot of things.
He made $39K in the last 10 months. Wow. Now, was some of that from the fight he did, or this is not including the fight? Because if it's not including the fight, then, some of the reviews of the Wendy's in this area, there's no way that you guys went to his Wendy's and reviewed it. That'd be crazy. Wow. That's wild. He's doing better than I
And
thought then.
His response was basically, I'm not coming.
This threw a giant wrench in their plans, and so Kyle got Woody to call Wings and try to persuade him to
Including
come,
the
but
fight,
to
yeah.
no avail. Jordy had embraced his cowardice wholeheartedly, and there was nothing anyone could tell him to make him change his mind. He eventually rattled off excuses about how, due to his obesity, he would just slow down the other two, and was worried about how dangerous the trip would be. But at the end of the day, if these concerns were genuine, he wouldn't have spent over a month boldly presenting a completely different outlook on the trip, going as far as making fun
Wings
of
on
Lefty
Google
for not
Maps.
going. Just to be
We
clear,
reviewed
despite
it.
having prepared for the trip more than Jordy,
Yo, if y'all went to his local Wendy's and review bombed it, that is crazy, man. All the businesses in the area, y'all just putting things about Wings. That is funny as hell. See, this is like, y'all being the best community is an understatement. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, y'all. It's funny as hell. It is funny. He get mad about stuff like that, but it's funny. It really is.
Woody and Kyle were no rugged survivalists that would be setting the bar high, and Jordy had no hope of matching their efforts. At least part of the point of the trip was that the PKA crew were in over their heads and would have to call it sooner or later. Said and done, on the very first day of the trip, Kyle took a swim and accidentally swallowed some creek water that made him vomit for hours, putting the whole unaided surviving in the woods shtick on hold until he got better. At this point, Wings had already made a number of mistakes that realistically could have cost many other people their careers, but somehow he was still afloat. However, this time it was different. Kyle in particular took great offense at his blatant lack of camaraderie. After all, these were people with whom Jordy had been podcasting for the better part of a decade and who considered him a relatively close friend. And he was careless enough to only tell them he wouldn't be a part of the survival trip.
Yeah,
at the very
Wings did them dirty. At the very last second, he said he wasn't going. You knew that whole time you wasn't going, man. So why not say something then? You did them dirty, bro.
last minute.
You
Kyle
did them
considered
dirty.
this to be the straw that broke the camel's back, and his feelings about this situation are evident in that the first video he recorded as he made his way to the wilderness ended very abruptly and was noticeably edited because he had cut out the part
you
where he
3
spoke
hours
his
from
mind about
Conway.
what Wings had done, presumably with a hefty helping of expletives. In a comment, he explains, "I was pretty pissed off that night, and a little right now actually, but I decided to just cut out about the 2 minutes of this video and a lost video from the next morning at the hotel. What I said was appropriate at the time, but not today, and since I'm uploading it today, I cut it." Over on the PKA subreddit, Kyle explained in better detail what exactly went down, saying, "I have to say I'm done with Wings' bullshit. I texted him and asked him if he was good to go and had all of his gear, and he replied flatly that he wasn't going. Keep in mind, this is only 10 hours before he was supposed to meet us in North Carolina. He didn't give us a month's notice, 2 weeks, 1 week, or even 1 day. Hell, he didn't give any notice. I think if I hadn't texted him, he'd have simply not shown up tomorrow, which is basically what he insinuated later in our conversation.
That's
Another thing
wild.
to consider is that the reason I didn't invite Syndicate is because of the drama that Wings started with him like 2 years ago. So now we're going in with 2 people instead of 3 or 4, and it's all because of
birth
him.
month.
I was absolutely disgusted when I read his excuses on Skype, and to be honest, I don't consider him a friend anymore. I'll still work with him, but I'll never rely on him or do him a favor ever again. He's the ultimate toxic friend, and that no matter how kind or generous you are to him, he's a heartbeat away from spitting in your face. He's just a bad person. End of story." For Woody, on the other hand, this wasn't as big of an offense, mostly because Woody had different and more serious grievances with Jordy. Specifically, another content creator named Obviously Jesus had said he would do terrible things to Woody's wife and daughter, and yet when he spoke about being depressed and suggested that a trip to Europe or a better gaming rig would help his depressive state, Wings outright gave him money despite what he had said about Woody.
Want another rabbit hole to go down to? There's a guy I watch called Callum's Corner. He's sort of like a local in some ways. Nice dude, just an eyeball. He's British, not American. Well, here at Dougie, on Dougie's channel, we don't discriminate. So if he's, if he British, I don't care. If he's, if he not entertaining, but if he's worth looking into, why not? What's his name? Callum's Corner. Callum's Corner. I have to look him up. Cross his arms. Here's the thing about the PKA survival trip, right? That's crazy, man.
Woody's family. Surprisingly, this is just one of the instances where Jordy was being friendly with people who were outright antagonizing Woody. Another COD YouTuber, Thunder Toro, disliked Woody because Woody wasn't as good as he was at COD, but was way more successful. As Woody recalls, there was a video in which Toro and his friends say horrible things about Woody's son, prompting Woody to make a video response addressing what was said. Meanwhile, Wings was helping Toro out with search engine optimization, and when Woody called him out on this, Jordy replied, complaining that Woody was making him choose between Toro and him. Mind you, Toro had never helped Wings out in any way, shape, or form, while Woody had been relentlessly defending him for years, and at the time, had offered to fix Jordy's custom-made desk free of charge, all of which highlighted how backwards Wings' priorities were. All of this betrayal and hypocrisy was added to the fact not only had Wings been late to many PKA recordings, but he'd been consistently negative and self-pitying for many of the last editions in which he participated, which culminated in Jordy being permanently...
Callum's Corner is wild. I'd avoid his streams, though. They aren't for the faint of heart. What you talk about? Hate to admit it, but all his BS comments on the start of the month like he didn't. Up there. What kind of a worry that did help deserve? Yeah, I can see that. What he did say made it, you know, whether it's true or not. Unfortunately, it did grow the channels. Callum's Corner. Y'all making it seem like this dude is nuts. I might have to look into Callum's Corner. I hope am I pronouncing it right? Callum's Corner? Callum's Corner? I said Callum's. Come on, man. Callum's Corner.
Kicked off the pod. He hadn't just missed yet another chance to redeem his name and get some positive attention from his audience. He had burned one of the last and most meaningful bridges in his professional life. Ever since it happened, Jordy has been consistently open about how he felt regarding being kicked from the show, and it seems he's self-aware enough to know that it's his fault. However, it's also clear that on some level, Wings still resents both Kyle and Woody for holding him to a standard and...
Hold on. Flag on the play. Do you know that once Wings claimed that the moon is 2D, he said that the moon was 2D. I can't. The moon is 2D. Well, he thought it was a picture up there?
Revealing just how unwilling to be accountable and improve his life situation he truly was. A month after the survival trip, perhaps noticing how dire his circumstances were becoming, Jordy began the Walk 365 project, vowing to vlog himself walking every day for a year, which once again breathed some semblance of life into whatever was left of his online presence that his diehard followers still cared about. Whether because they truly believe in Jordy, or because the alternative is too grim to even consider, people still held out hope that he was just having a rough time and would eventually get better. Initially, the project showed promise, and unlike his gaming content, which he had already made clear he hated doing, he seemed to genuinely enjoy making these videos and being more active outdoors. After about 2 months, he experienced a minor setback in his diet and put on 6 pounds. Fortunately, Drew, the personal trainer, re-entered the picture, offering his services pro bono out of genuine fondness for Jordy. Once again, despite...
He says space ass won't win rockets for you. The moon can't be 2D, bro. It just can't. That's what happens when you try to think so damn hard. You end up saying something that's completely out of whack. Come on, man.
Despite his infinite supply of character flaws and shortcomings, Wings manages to be in the good graces of other people who just want to see him do well. The impromptu partnership between them turned out to be remarkably...
Wings is streaming. Really? Wings is streaming? Ain't no mod in sight. It's Wings streaming. What should we do? Do we drop by Wings' stream? Or do we keep up with the documentary? What should we do? Wait, can I restream somebody? Is that because that's restreaming? I don't know if that's allowed or not. I don't know if that's, I don't know if that's allowed or not. I don't know if I could stream somebody else's stream. I don't know my labor laws. You know what I mean? That's crazy. If he's streaming right now, it's rare that I catch a Wing stream live. Just because, I just don't know. YouTube don't notify me when he live. No, it's I was about to say. Bro, I was about to say he live. Man, I thought about going and check up on him. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't banned on YouTube yet. Maybe he did ban me. He blocked me on Twitter or X, but I don't know. He probably did ban me on Twitter. First thing, pronunciation, please. His preferred pronouns are. That's crazy. You're not supposed to. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's a gray area. Yeah, that's why. Okay, it's a troll song. I gotta get my
successful,
I
with
gotta get my
Drew's
knowledge on my
inspiration
troll
and support
songs up.
motivating Wings to keep pushing forward.
I gotta listen to more Liquid Richard. I do. Liquid Richard did have some good beats. His quality of his beats and stuff was pretty high quality. So like, it sounded like he like a real producer. Liquid Richard.
The topic of people being inexplicably
Good
generous
beats.
to Wings, even after being kicked out of PKA as a host, he would still occasionally appear as a guest, such as in PKA 210 when he appeared together with Drew. By 2015, Wings still struggled with his more pessimistic thoughts about his online presence.
You good, bro.
When someone
You-
on the
you
PKA
good.
subreddit
Not shame on you. It's shame on me. I should know this stuff. I've been doing this for a year. I should know this stuff. So I gotta know my troll songs. That's on me. It's
suggested
you good,
he
bro.
make
You
a
good.
podcast of his own since he could no longer be on PKA. He replied, "The problem is that there's no money in podcasting. I hated being on PKA toward the end of it. It was boring, was getting way too professional, and their whole idea that we had to drag the show to 4 hours every week was stupid. We would obviously run out of steam 2 hours into the podcast, and instead of ending it, we would start looking up YouTube videos or attempt prank calls. Podcasting isn't fun in the slightest bit, and the only way I go back into podcasting is money. I am at the point in my life right now where I don't know what to do with my life. I can't kick my eating addiction. I'm really unfit to do any job that requires standing, and I make around 75 cents per 1,000 views on YouTube. The hardest thing to understand is how seemingly self-conscious he is about his ineptitude at holding a regular job, yet how simultaneously unwilling he is to
I'll
go
let you
through
know,
the
bro.
rigmarole of making his online gigs profitable. Sure, podcasting for hours on end is
I'll let you know. Wings of Sigma. I used to react to his stuff all the Wings of Sigma has some good stuff, man. I don't know if he's still making content or not. But I used to watch Wings of Sigma all the time. I did like Wings of Sigma.
definitely tiresome, but it's better than a lot of alternatives he had, and it's not like he has that many alternatives to begin with. Regardless, the content on his YouTube channel had undergone a somewhat radical transformation, focusing primarily on his workout and lifestyle content. However, the frequency of uploads decreased as he transitioned much of his online activity to Twitch, where he engaged in live streaming. In a Reddit post, Wings gave further details into how dark of a mindset he was in during this time, immediately after being kicked off PKA. The fact I bitch and cry is because I have no outside medium to talk to. Remember Walking 365? I have people like Keemstar and my own fans who start to berate me and make me feel like what I'm doing isn't good enough. I rarely complain nowadays. You see a post here and there, but it is generally created by the people who ask the questions.
Oh, he did? I didn't know
I don't
that.
stream when I feel bad anymore. And what happens when I do stream? When are you going to get on PKA? Wings, how much weight have you lost? When are you going to start creating
Yeah, Wings
entertaining
be
videos?
lying,
I'm at a
man.
point in my life where ending it all is an attractive option, and I feel fat and worthless. And when I do vent, I get kicked in the face. I'm sorry I didn't have good parents and the amazing genes you have. You know what stinks? Watching someone else make the money you should be making because they came after you at the right time. What is even worse, watching your brainchild, which in fairness was the work of 3 people working together, have its fan base turned against you.
Mark White, don't know why, but I find it funny. So funny that people used to troll Wings for selling vacuum parts. I didn't know he used to sell vacuum parts. That is kind of that selling vacuum parts. That's how you get in that business? Selling vacuums parts. I didn't even think that was a market. I didn't know there was a market for vacuums parts. Man. Oh my lord.
Despite the endless conveyor belt of excuses and self-pity,
Vacuum
Jordy still
parts.
had a group of loyal followers. However, there was also another group rearing its head within his audience that followed him for entirely different reasons. Like many personalities before and long after him, Jordy had attracted a group of people exclusively interested in watching him so that they could witness his self-destruction and ultimate downfall. While some were your regular run-of-the-mill trolls with a love-hate parasocial relationship with Wings, a minority actually hated him and did their best to make him mad whenever and however they could. For instance, some trolls would make donations during his Twitch
Like
streams,
Flippin' Duck
hoping to
reaction.
provoke a rage moment that they could clip and upload to YouTube for their own amusement. Anything was fair game. For example, Abe passing comments about him not liking
The Mrs. Doubtfire clip. You talk about from I think that was 007 video. They clipped because it was perfect. He did the Doubtfire. Hello. That was funny. It sounded like Mrs. Doubtfire, man. Mrs. Doubtfire was a good movie, first of all. And he sounded just like Mrs. Doubtfire when Wings was like, hello. It was funny with the pie on the face and all that.
Pepsi became a running joke
That was
as
funny.
the trolls flooded him with messages that proclaimed him a Pepsi aficionado. At least that one makes sense insofar as irritating Jordy. Another of his community's staple jokes was to accuse Wings of being a vacuum parts salesman, which I can't really make heads or tails of. It also became common to imitate Wings' distorted and outdated ebonics with phrases like,
Outdated ebonics is wild. Outdated ebonics is crazy work. The story behind the vacuum parts thing is trolls will make donations to charge it back and tell credit card companies that Wings didn't send him the vacuum parts. Come on, man. Come on, y'all would charge back and then tell the credit card companies that Wings didn't send the vacuum parts they ordered. That is crazy. Oh my God, you guys are crazy. the chargeback era was golden for Wings, man. The chargeback era was wild. Rest in peace, Robin Williams, of course. Rest in peace, Robin Williams, one of the greatest. Looks like their stream's getting deleted.
big ups, pimp. Though one of the most effective tactics the trolls found to annoy him was to refer to him by names that weren't his. Through personal information-seeking websites online, people found that the name Richard Jordan was associated with Jordy's address, and because of that, they began referring to him as Richard. Likewise, people started calling him Samuel over an instance where Jordy's grandma misspoke during a video and called Jordy Sam on accident. Though these are seemingly insignificant ways to poke fun at him, they were mysteriously good at grinding Jordy's gears, maybe just because he knew who they were coming from. Despite how regularly he streamed and the
Wings has the fuse of like a second grader, man. You know what I mean? Like he just anything flips his lid. Who gets mad if someone calls you the wrong? That's not my name. Please don't call me that, or you'll get banned. like, come on, man. Why do you care so much? Why do you care so much? Oh nah, here's the funniest. Like the troll history is crazy.
the steady stream of donations he was getting, it wasn't enough to pay the bills, let alone turn a profit, and as time passed, he continued to burn through his savings. Eventually, it got to him mentally. He stopped working out with Drew, and his bad eating habits resurfaced as powerful as ever, leading Jordy to begin 2016 at his heaviest weight ever, back up to beyond the 450 pounds he'd come down from during boot camp a couple of years prior. In his prime, he used to make over $100,000 annually before taxes, but by 2017, his Twitch income had diminished to $5,000 a month, an amount he was comfortable with, but eventually it plummeted to half of that, being $2,500 a month on average at best, a far cry from the money he considered necessary for his lifestyle. While many people have to work real jobs to get to that same amount, it fell short of what Wings wanted for himself and made it difficult for him to pay for his sought-after weight loss surgery, which, if done in Mexico as he was planning, could cost him up to $8,000. Determined to raise the funds, he intensified his streaming efforts, but due to his mental state deteriorating proportional to his financial stability, the instances of Jordy losing his temper and breaking down during games became increasingly frequent. Though he managed to persevere through the constant attacks from his detractors, it was at the cost of becoming a constant clip farm that would inevitably get re-uploaded by people who wanted to mock him. With this new surge of cringe and rage moments from Wings, the infamous Sean Ranklin account emerged, which eventually surpassed Wings' own.
Shout out to Sean Ranklin. Shout out to Sean Ranklin. Finally caught your string. How you doing? I'm doing good, man. Fargan Ward. I'm doing good, man. Finally caught my live stream. I don't live stream a lot. I definitely got to set a schedule to live stream just because it's one thing to make a video. It's another thing to actually sit here and communicate with you guys. I'm having a blast. You know, you guys are funny as hell. I can kick it with y'all all day. You know, I don't got nothing going on today, so I might as well. You know, I got to live stream more. That's a fact. But I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Own account and popularity, a fact which certainly frustrated and annoyed Jordy to no end. Evidence of this is that the mere mention of Sean Ranklin's name, or any variation of it in Jordy's chat, instantly earns you a ban. Nowadays, if anything of Jordy's is archived, there's a good chance the only reason it was archived was because Sean Ranklin clipped it. During this period, Wings unintentionally fostered a community of trolls who stalked him through any multiplayer games he joined, and either team killed him, or found some other way to creatively abuse him into buckling under their pressure and giving them clippable relatable moments. This endeavor generated iconic clips like this one, where he's despairing about the money he needed for the surgery.
I really need to make this.
That's a
money.
fact.
I really wanted to get this fucking surgery,
fact.
man. I wanted it so fucking bad.
So fucking bad.
I just can't do it. I can't take this shit.
I'm not trying to laugh at the dude's misfortune, but it's just a meme now. You know what I mean? I'm sure live it was probably like, damn, you feel for the dude. But it's a meme, like, I can't take this shit anymore. It's Is this the same clip where he goes, look here, look, listen? No, it's not. I don't think it is. I think he got the same shirt on, though. It's the same setup, it looked like, but I don't think so.
Oh, man. All I wanted to do was, like, I was fucking lonely. I wanted to just fucking stream and have a good time, man. Have a good game.
Come on, man. What are you doing?
My life.
Or this one, in which people keep trolling him by sending him incessant friend requests and then
It is the
suggesting
claim
ways
clip.
to prevent the notification from popping up that would never work.
Here we go.
Look here. Look, listen. Appearing offline does not fucking stop it. So stop giving fucking advice you know nothing about.
Eventually, another troll account surged
Oh, man. Look here, look, listen. That is the best. Oh, my God. Look here. Look, listen. That's crazy.
popularity in the wake of this era. Liquid Richard, who was solely responsible for the most successful musical renditions of Jordy's highlights
never thought it was
or
the best?
lowlights.
If you continue to say Richard, whether you're a sub or not,
Just going to get ready for you for 24 hours.
I'm banning anybody trying to give me advice.
But the clips weren't the only thing being
I ain't gonna
compiled.
lie. Liquid Richard got some heat. His beats are fire. I ain't gonna lie.
Jordy's wise words were recorded by the scribes of his short-lived subreddit, containing gems such as, "Who needs Pepsi when you can have Pepsi? I'm being accused of being fat. I'm gonna have a surgery, and I'm gonna have the hair."
I hear that. I'm being accused of being fat. I'm being accused of being fat. What?
From my nuts put on my face. My nut hair grows like wildfire. I probably do give the best hand jobs in South Carolina, so I'm gonna hold that title for a very long time. I can make a girl nut just by kissing her. When she says no 3 times, that means
Yeah, that one was crazy. When she says no 3 times, that means yes, bro. That was wild to say. That is up there with. That's up there with freaking age of consent. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. When she says no 3 times, that means yes. That is. And I'm not just going. We're not gonna gloss over the fact that he said he get the best hand jobs either. Like, what are you talking about, man?
yes. Obviously, all of this probably upset an already quite irritable Jordy, but especially in retrospect, it seems a lot of it wasn't good fun. People made fun of Jordy for things like smelling his fingers, having a history of occasionally dropping the gamer word, or his addiction to Wendy's chili and the notorious banquet meals. There were, however, more egregious offenses of Jordy's that the trolls rightfully gave him crap about, such as him nonchalantly telling someone he wished his family died in a car crash,
Yeah, that
or
was
him
wild.
saying he wouldn't consider pornography with teenagers CP, which, even after he attempted to explain it away as a shock jock statement, still looks like an awful blemish on his character. However, some trolls crossed the line when they began swatting him, an action seen as
I do not support swatting. Swatting ain't cool, man. Swatting is not cool. I feel like you gotta keep it, the whole troll thing, keep it in the spectrum of the internet. You know? Don't, like, I feel like personal information and swatting and stuff, that's not cool, man. I feel like that's below the belt. I don't support that. I don't. Like, this stuff, it's not cool, it's not safe, it's dangerous. So I can't get with that.
an exceptionally
I
low
can't.
blow within the general online community. While the Clip Fest on YouTube shattered Jordy's hopes of ever returning to YouTube in
Go
full
get your
form,
bagel
the
meal,
rage
man.
moments started to slow down as he got on Lexapro, and the emotional breakdowns when a game didn't go his way transformed into him just sighing in frustration, which instead frustrated the people who wanted to see him lose in a spectacular fashion. By early 2018, a debate with Keemstar takes place as their beef briefly reignited after Jordy, during a stream, said Keem was an evil person, and if someone
Yeah, swatting is crazy. Give them ammunition for complaining wine. It does
ever
give
deserved to
ammunition.
die, it would be him. Perhaps the most
Ammunition.
important aspect of this whole ordeal
I
is
say
when
ammunition.
Keemstar makes an
That's
offer of
crazy.
$25,000
Ammunition.
if Wings were to get in a boxing ring with him. Not only was it guaranteed money up front no matter how the fight turned out, but who knows what additional revenue he stood to make off of it if the fight was well marketed. And regardless of that, it would certifiably get him the surgery he kept going on and on about. Besides, he's always held a grudge against Keemstar.
Speaking of fights, I will say this. No, he don't get no bragging rights for this, but Wings whipped Boogie's ass. He did. He came out with all the fire. Wings did boom, boom, hitting him with his ham hocks, boom, boom. And Boogie just got his ass whooped. So I will say that. I mean, he don't get no credit for that because Boogie's like 80. You know what I mean?
Star, and this would finally give him an opportunity to physically hurt him IRL. To be completely frank, he was obviously going to lose, considering how
bully.
much lighter and faster Keemstar inevitably would be in a boxing match, but even then it would be a cathartic experience. At this point in time, Keemstar was relatively hated, so even people who disliked Wings would easily root for him just to see Keem get decked in the face. But to the dismay of everyone, haters and fans alike, Jordy turned it down, throwing away yet another gold
I wanted to start a reaction channel, but worried about strikes affecting my other channels. I don't want to lose. I feel like, I mean, there's people out there with the reaction thing that go too far and they don't say a word. They just sit there. They'll play a whole video and just change their face at the most. I don't think that's transformative. I don't think that is, you know what I mean? I don't think that's fair use. If you just barely moving your face and you just doing this and you just watching, like there's people on Twitch that just like watch TV shows and stuff. That's not fair use. You just literally using somebody's content and just letting it rock. You know, but as long as you make it transformative and put your own twist on things, give your opinions, you should be good, bro. So start your reaction channel. For real. Boogie came out there looking like yeah, he did. Boogie looked like a clown. Boogie did look like a clown. I feel like Boogie, the fight was so bad and Boogie's performance was so bad, it looked kind of fixed. It did look fixed. It does look, yeah, exactly. XQC or whatever his name is. I see him on Twitter all the time. People talk about him. I don't know much about him, but I guess he do that. Yeah. I know they affect your channel, man. I do know that, but I feel like if you make it transformative, you should be good. Like I've been doing this for a year. I never got a strike. Not one strike. I've gotten new. So you know what I mean? Knock on wood. I don't want to knock because I don't want my camera to shake. Some people don't like that.
an opportunity to improve on his public image by doing something besides sitting inside his room and playing Call of Duty all day. The audience's ire was also inflamed by his contagious excuses for delaying his surgery. Even after miraculously raising the money through donations, he delayed it by changing his tune and saying he wanted to get the surgery done not in Mexico, but in America, where it would be 3 times more expensive. Notwithstanding, it was further postponed when he failed to lose the 50 pounds he had to in order for the surgery to be viable. But by April 28th, 2018, he finally gets it, and shortly after, loses a whopping 70 pounds, eventually claiming he lost over 150, which is somewhat questionable at face value. Due to the fact that he never got on a scale on video to show his weight, many speculated he lost less weight than he claimed to, with some going as far as saying he didn't have the surgery at all, so he could keep all the money to himself. However, judging from how he looked, it was clear he had lost some weight, but the amount was hotly discussed. After one of the most intensely negative periods in his entire life, the fact that he successfully got the surgery he always wanted was a breath of fresh air. He did engage in a bit of misdirection since he did end up getting the surgery in Mexico and kept the leftover money for himself, but despite this, many people were happy for him anyway.
Pretending we have seen that reporter who's been killed in Yo, what was the dude's name? They called him something. The CNN reporter was like something Gores or something like that. Ernie Gores? I don't know. Because I remember I made a video and everybody, the whole comment section was like RIP something Gores, Bernie Gores, whatever the dude's name was. But that was funny as hell. I don't even know how they did that. I don't even know how the trolls did that. I really don't. That was funny though.
way. Coincidentally, it was around this time that Wings' troll communities began to either cannibalize themselves or become inactive as they plain lost interest in following Wings. This loss of cohesion in the troll boot camp might have something to do with something Jordy has claimed multiple times.
Bernie
that he's
Gores,
basically
Bernie
extorted
Gores.
the biggest troll channels into paying him a percentage of what they make under threat of copyright striking them into oblivion. He said that he makes $1,500 a month off trolls, but of course, like many things Wings says, there's almost no way to confirm if this is true, and given his track record, there's a decent chance he's lying, considering he was also door dashing at this point to make ends meet. While it is sort of a bad omen that just a month after the surgery, he was already getting
Is a place on words and racist. Is it really a racist term? I didn't know that. I'm playing on words. What you talking about, Bernie? Bernie, I don't want to know what the term is. I ain't gonna say it no more. I ain't know that. I thought it was somebody's name for real.
in calls with his trolls on Discord, especially when giving them attention of any kind makes them more active. Thankfully, this didn't change the overall trend that he was no longer giving them what they wanted on a silver platter. Besides accidentally leaking some of his personal information while browsing a car website, Jordy spent a while at a safe distance from any serious trouble. According to his Reddit history, he began taking walks again, though this time without—
Oh, yo! Say it slow. That is crazy. That is crazy. Hold on. Bernie Gores. That is crazy, bro. Oh, come on, man. Come on. Say it in your head slow. That is wild. Yep, that's it. Hey.
Vlogging it, and
that
hadn't
went over
gained
my
any
head
weight whatsoever
first.
since the surgery while losing 2 pounds a week. But as 2020 unfolded, things took another dark turn when his grandmother, lovingly dubbed Gangsta Grandma, got diagnosed with 3 different kinds of cancer. This news dampened the otherwise good direction things were going,
crazy.
so much so that Jordy claimed he was planning to marry someone he'd been on and off with for the previous 6 years, which later would be revealed to be Kelly, with whom he's still together to this day. The reason they hadn't properly started a relationship yet was because she was religious and Jordy wasn't, which would create a problem in case they had children. But as the prospect of having kids became increasingly unlikely due to the health problems both parties had, that particular issue basically faded away. Yet, some worrisome aspects around this immediately arise, as during one of his streams, an escort website showed up in the suggested terms. After a post on PKA's subreddit brought attention to it, Jordy replied by saying, "You guys were sending hookers to my house. They told me where they came from, and I looked at the website to see how many girls were on it to get an idea of how many more I'd have to deal with." As much as I doubt that Jordy was hiring prostitutes this deep into his money issues, this is not a very good explanation. Regardless, some of Jordy's haters became obsessed with ruining his life to the point that one of them discovered who his wife-to-be was through Facebook and telling them every bad thing about Jordy they could conjure. From sending the YouTube clips of Jordy saying crazy shit and raging, to telling them he was only marrying her for money. These actions culminated in the marriage being temporarily called off, which obviously upset—
Yeah, I feel like Wings is, he's with Kelly for something. I heard somebody say money. I heard somebody say health insurance. He's with Kelly for something, because he literally told her that, like, she like asked him how he looked at stuff. He rated her, and he gave her like a something out of 10, and it was a really low number out of 10. So he ain't with her for his looks. He don't really talk to her because he's streaming and he's too busy ignoring her for Rainbow. So he's with her for something, in my opinion.
Wings, and sparked wide speculation that the marriage falling apart would cause him to relapse and start stress eating and beat the surgery. Thankfully, Jordy and his fiancée eventually reconciled, and the wedding plans were back on track. However, once again, this brief moment of joy is almost instantly followed and overshadowed by a meme that began—
Yeah, that was crazy. Don't come here asking how my day was. I don't care.
Circulating online, depicting the couple as if they were serial bank
robbers. It was a
robbers.
5.
Police say a man and a woman have been busy robbing businesses on the Northwest Side.
Those officers were actually on their way to yet another robbery call out on Culebra Road near Loop 1604.
Although the meme is obviously fake upon some cursory investigation, it still caused Wings real-life trouble. The sheer attention this very effective meme was attracting led people to begin, once again, unearthing and sharing the old PKA and gaming clips of Jordy, saying extremely offensive and insensitive things, and making disturbing comments about minors and the age of consent.
I did say the age of consent should be 12. The age of consent should be 12.
And there it is. There it is. Come on, Wings. Come on, man. I didn't think we was gonna get there in this video. I really didn't. The age of consent, like, bro, a 12-year-olds are dumb. 12-year-olds are nowhere even close to being adults. What are you doing, man? Oh my lord. Oh my lord is right. Oh my lord is right. That is crazy.
Oh.
He's like, cause I know 12-year-olds fucking on a regular. Like, come on, man. What?
Why don't you make yourself at home here?
This time around, the trolls figured out that they could one-up themselves. Instead of just be
Chris Hansen was crazy. I would watch some Chris Hansen on stream, but I think he like Chris Hansen be flagging y'all if y'all be watching and stuff. I'm pretty sure Chris Hansen don't play by his content.
merching his name to the people of the same community as him, or bluntly harassing him directly, they hatched the evil plan to start using his name and image to do terrible things to random people in real life, such as sending racist messages to BLM chapters near the area where Jordy actually lived. However, it would take a while for this plan to yield results, as in the same time period, the beloved gangsta grandma finally passes away due to complications with her cancer, which granted Jordy a grace period, as even the trolls recognized this was going to be hard on him, considering she had pretty much raised him. Later on in the same year, he was suspended from Twitch.tv, and many speculated that he had started to put back on weight. Wings also began taking Effexor along with Lexapro, which might be contributing to the hypothetical weight gain. As 2021 begins, his situation doesn't improve much. He has one particularly awful bout of streaming in which he neglects his crying wife and fails to attend his grandmother's remembrance event in favor of playing Dark Souls. More evidence of his relationship struggles start to surface.
He ignored the remembrance event to play Dark Souls? That is Skeeter. Skeeter, you might be talking about Skeeter Jean. Yeah, Skeeter Jean's pretty good. He's pretty good. Skeeter's pretty good.
Typically, his wife's flirtatious DMs with one of Jordy's Discord mods leak, and they're confirmed as real by Wings himself, who reacted to them. After this, a period of relative calm ensues, only to be once again shattered as people intensify their attacks. Wings starts having the police show up to his house multiple times on accusations that he'd been abusing his dog Bongo, or over people impersonating him on TikTok, pretending that he was a pedophile or kidnapper. Amidst this chaos, pictures of his genitalia sent years prior leak, leading to more trouble with his wife's family, and Jordy expressing his insecurity about it while streaming with his wife.
Oh yeah, I remember that. He was like, he said something like, babe, it's not Simone, right? Or something like that. And she said something crazy. Because she didn't straight answer.
Putting how infinitely tolerant Kelly is of not just everything Jordy does, but also the insanely vile things that his chat says about them. I don't know if this is wholesome or if she's out to lunch to the point where she's inoculated to the abuse. In any event, despite the rocky moments, their relationship seems pretty stable, which goes a long way to keep Wings sane and operational. However, online, things are a lot less peaceful. Jordy gets a series of posts made about him on the subreddit r/IamATotalPOS to further denigrate his image. Though to be fair, this is done exclusively through the employment of things he said while on public streams. As this succession of hardships continued, Wings faced yet another setback when he got banned by DoorDash, losing one of the last potential sources of conventional livelihood he had, and consequently causing him to be even more dependent on the stream of income he got from streaming. However, him no longer being a driver for DoorDash surely didn't prevent a flurry.
Yeah, the TikTok stuff was crazy because, like, I'm pretty sure they would create accounts, pretend to be Wings to like get him in trouble or something. Like, Wings is a jackass. He gonna get in trouble on his own self. He don't need no help from nobody with this stuff. You know what I mean? So I feel like to do that, this kind of goes with the, you know, the category of the personal stuff and the, you know what I mean, the swatting and stuff. I feel like that's, you know what I mean. The black people don't tip was crazy because I remember that shit. Black people don't tip. He said he used to hate something in the ghetto because black people don't tip. Something like that. That's crazy. That is crazy. We don't, but that's crazy. I do, by the way. I do. But a lot of us don't. But it's just crazy to, you know. Come on, Wings. Come on, bruh.
Of DoorDash deliveries
Come on,
from being
bruh.
sent to his house relentlessly, which understandably bothered his wife a lot. Around the end of 2021 and the beginning of 2022, Jordy had his PSN get hacked twice, and the second time this happened, the hackers demanded he join their Discord server and talk to them in order to get it back. Rarely is a lolcow milked so viciously. Jordy obliged and antics ensued, as you can probably imagine. The call with the hackers was eventually joined by Tipster.
I remember that she's like, baby, what are you doing? I'm going to the Lions Den. Baby, no. You should have listened to Kelly, man. You went to the Lions Den for what?
Of all people, and once again, Keemstar, who seems to be present in all significant moments of Jordy's life for some mysterious reason. Keemstar truly is the angel of death. Another moment happened around this time, with Jordy's longtime neighbor giving an interview online purportedly to expose what a truly horrible individual Wings was behind the cameras, as if the stuff in front.
What's the thing about Tipster? I know of Tipster. I've never watched a Tipster video or anything. What's the deal with Tipster? That's crazy. But I loved it when they got his account. Yo, when they got his... Now, I'm conflicted on my opinions on the account thing. Because I genuinely think his account got hacked. But then some people are like... There were some videos made and stuff like he did it himself. And his account wasn't really hacked. It was all for pity donations. And it's Wings, so you don't know what to believe, you know? But it was crazy that his account got...
front of the camera wasn't enough to get people to hate him. However, Aaron, the neighbor, eventually apologized and retracted his statements in a very strange stream with Wings. Though he said he was sorry and that he was either lying in the interview or it had been highly edited to make Jordy look bad, many of the claims he made about Jordy were pretty much unexplained. One particularly egregious accusation involved Jordy having done something to his sister, but upon release of the full uncut interview, it turned out all that had taken place was that Wings had made a rude comment about his sister stinking during puberty, which is pretty fitting for a guy as tone deaf as him, but if he was a teenager when he made that comment, I think it's not a big deal. In the middle of 2022, one of the troll campaigns used Jordy's...
Oh, he reacts to stuff and he's arrogant? That's crazy. He calls somebody the N-word. That's crazy. Yeah, the whole Aaron stuff wasn't looked into enough. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't know what to believe when it comes to all that. Because as much as I like, you know, watching the dude and laughing at Wings and stuff, I want the stuff to be true. I want lies to be out there and stuff. Everything got to be true and everything got to be seeming concrete, you know? But the whole Aaron thing was weird. I would like to know more about this stuff so we can come up with a real conclusion.
Likeness to claim he was a teacher named Bernie Gores that sacrificed himself to save the lives of kids at the shooting in Uvalde. This one got so big, the New York Times wrote an article covering it. To be honest, as far as trolling goes, this is one of the best examples.
You think Aaron was telling the truth?
They just falsely make him out to be a hero. Feeling misunderstood and wrongly judged as a bad person over the clip material of him on YouTube, Jordy took to Reddit to clear the air once more. I'm tired of seeing this narrative that...
Yeah, I feel like he seemed like he was telling the truth. Because, like, what would he gain for lying? But on the same thing, I don't know, man. Some people just like to lie, but why would he lie? That's what I tell myself. Why would he lie? What's he gain for lying? Unless he's getting paid behind the scenes or whatever. But I feel like then Wings like threatened to sue him or something. If that was the case, if I was that dude, if I was telling the truth, I would have stood on that. I'm like, oh no, I'm telling the truth. I know what the hell I'm talking about. Try to sue me if you want to, you know. But he kind of faded away once Wings poked his Wendy's chest out. That dude kind of backed off. So I don't know.
That I'm the scum of the earth. Did I get upset at people in video games? Yes. Did I say a lot of edgy stuff on a comedy podcast? Yes. Do any of these things make me a terrible human? No. I've never heard any.
Once a week, definitely once a week. I think I'm gonna aim for. I think Thursdays is gonna be my stream days. I don't know. I think that for my time chart, my little time piece of pie, Thursdays make the most sense for me. So I think about doing it every Thursday. Bro, I think that's what I'm looking at.
Anyone or broken any laws. Every chance I had a chance to help someone, I've usually taken it. There's
and
a reason why
after this, actually, we want to do that now. We know who Wings is. We about to do the 007. 007. All right, so let's see this right there. All right, let's see, cause we gotta see what the hell he said about the high schoolers. Let's go.
Appearing offline does
Let's see, man. Let's see what he said about these girls, man.
Fuck you! My lord.
Let's see what's going on, man.
Whatever. I hope your family dies in honor.
Shout out to Wings 007 for the video. Gotta get the the credits out there.
Bill Rick. I did say the age of consent should be 12.
Let's see what happened.
Bernie Gores, well, happy fucking birthday, Bernie Gores. But if Bernie Gores is actually watching and it is actually your birthday, happy motherfucking birthday, bruh.
What did you say to Bernie Gores?
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Wings is full of shit.
Who was that? who was that? Who are them people? I don't know who these people are. That's crazy. Shout out 007 for sure. Yeah, man, the 007 pay pick thing, man. I don't know what to believe with that, man. I don't know what to believe with that. Cause I talked to 007 behind the scenes and stuff. Dude seemed cool. You know, so I don't know what to believe with that. But I don't know who that girl was. I don't know who that dude was. It looked like they was in some kind of 1x1 trailer. I don't know what the hell that was.
Hard to find you on a search. I saw you were live and I had to go to the sub feed to find you. Google needs to fix the search engine. Oh.
On YouTube, if you search up your name, your channel don't even pop up. You gotta search filter by channel. Would it even pop up?
That is true. If you that is true. If you try to look up Wings, his channel don't pop up.
Can't put it all together. It does, yeah. I'm like the sixth thing. Come on, fuck. Fuck me. Shit, dude. Where's this drone at, dude? Pineapple Junior, man. Like I don't remember you.
Pineapple Junior.
And the fact that you're spamming it makes me seem like you're just gonna troll. And I don't have time for
Pineapple
that.
Junior.
Drink a gallon of Zaxby sauce for $5. A gallon of Zaxby sauce can't fit in my stomach, man.
Really, nigga?
Monty Mole, I understand it that I'm streaming. Good for you. Observation is a key life skill.
It's weird when people got the stomach butts. How did they get that? That don't look. They look weird when people got that stomach ass. It looks strange. I don't know how that happens.
Dude, they're pushing so hard in detention. Dog, there are people with cerebral palsy got me beat on fucking gun skill. You talking shit like it matters. Thoughts on Kevin McCarthy getting the sack? Here's my thoughts with like radical like Trump Republicans. I don't even know what the fuck they call them. They used to call them like Tea Party guys. But like
Pineapple Junior is crazy.
It feels like the second coming of the Nazi Party in America. Like honestly, like the people are so far right.
Like honestly, when you guys started commenting on my videos, like honestly, that is when I started realizing he says that all the time. Like honestly,
that they will let people go without like here's the implication of like the government shutting down. Elderly people don't get their check. Anybody on Medicare doesn't get any kind of aid. Schools will close. No gas for the buses. There's all kinds of things that can go wrong with the government shut down. And that the fact that 8 people want to hold the government hostage and somebody decided, oh, we're not going to have this. We're going to have to work. Because like a democracy is like 2 people with 2 different viewpoints wanting to work together. And the fact that there's like 8 people in the...
Bro really thinks saying, here's the thing, before saying something. Yeah. When he puts that controller down, he goes, here's the thing. Like, he thinks he's about to spit some knowledge when it's usually bullshit. Like, honestly.
Senate that won't work with anybody, that should instantly get them kicked out of the Senate.
Bro, saying a Republican, like a Republican party is like Hitler's party, that's a
You're cooking a bit too much, man.
No, I'm not talking about the Republican Party. I'm talking about the 8 people inside the Republican Party that are willing to vote the House Speaker out because he wants to work
that makes
with
sense.
the Democrats.
That makes sense.
To keep people
Commando.
with, you know, needs and stuff that they actually use. It's such a, I know it's an extreme take, but like, man, like it's giving those vibes off bad. Oh.
Okay.
Like anybody that stood up against Mike Pence on January 6th during the Biden inauguration should be, one, probably should do jail time for treason, but 2, at the very least, be out of politics.
Jailing people for political treason is a bit of a Nazi move, right?
Standing up and like, well,
that's what the fucking Nazis did, bro.
Right, but like you gotta look at it this way: like these dudes literally stood up against like Trump being, you know, Biden being declared president because they thought there was like the election was rigged and blah 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 blah, blah and not going through the proper channels. Right, and like that's the extreme take.
He thinks he is the smartest. He makes a little bit of sense here, to be fair. He makes a little bit of sense here. But he always just thinks he's the smartest dude in the room. He thinks that when he speaks, you should listen. When he speaks, you just shut the hell up.
That they should be jailed. At the very least, they shouldn't be allowed in office because, like,
Reagan Baker just uploaded
multiple times that the election wasn't rigged, and it's not even hard to prove. Like the party that said don't mail in your vote, come vote in person, went and voted in person.
That's another no, man. You can't do politics, bro. Keep your politics. It's like the workplace. You know, you don't talk about politics, man. You don't talk politics.
And the other side said, hey, if you got to mail your vote in, got more mail-in votes. It's so fucking astonishing. It's like this is like kindergarten shit. There's more Democrats in America than there are Republicans. The only issue is Republicans.
And they're coming across the border.
No. The difference is Republicans live in rural areas, and it looks like the whole country's Republican. But at the end of the day, cows don't vote. Wings, do you know the first person to land?
I've never played CSGO, but I heard the people who do play CSGO is actually, you know, that fan base is pretty hardcore from what it seems like. But Rainbow's been out for so long. So like, he's got to let Rainbow go. He's got to play something else, man. Do something else, bro. Like, at this point, the only fun thing to do is to troll you. Man, people are getting tired of seeing you losing all the damn time.
And on the sun was? No, I don't. This motherfucker's in the Matrix like he's Andrew Tate, taking all the fucking dumbasses' money.
That's crazy, Murky.
Do you have a Bugatti?
I do not have a Bugatti. But if I was, you know what I was
yeah, it's a fact. Actors and actresses, man.
Here coming up.
Chill.
Wow.
What the fuck?
I'm a 37-year-old fat e-beggar, and I'm about to drop some fucking knowledge on all you youngins. You guys ready?
You guys ready for this knowledge? I'm a 37-year-old. 37, bro. I just turned 30. I just turned 30 in August. I hope I don't look like that in 7 years. That is crazy. A rough 37. A very rough 37. That's wild. I feel like I just seen the Ghost of Christmas Past or something like this. That's 37. We in the same, you know, I ain't too far off from his age, and he looking like that. That's scary stuff.
Ready for this shit? Don't build your life on somebody else's property. Right? Build on your own fucking property, dog. Don't take somebody else to build yourself up.
Like this girl with like 31 kg.
Yo.
She wrote, I just drank 800
Turn 30 February, that's cool. Good stuff.
Scream and cry and die, oh my god, having a panic attack. Like, bro, that's 800 calories, that's nothing, bro.
That shit, son. That's one of my big goals, baby. I'm gonna tell you a real fucking story here, right? I went and got my stomach cut out in Mexico. Because I went and got my stomach cut out in Mexico, they don't have any like standards. If you got the money, they'll do whatever the fuck you want them to do, right?
It's still paused or not? Camera freeze? My camera froze for real? I feel like it did. Yo, it did freeze. Hold on, what's going on? What's going on with the camera, man? Can't have that, man. Let's see what we got going on here, man. I don't know what's going on with my camera. What? Oh man. All right, I guess I gotta figure out what's going on with the camera. I don't know how to fix the dang thing. I really don't. So that's gonna be the stream, y'all. I'm gonna cut the stream short. We're gonna have to watch the rest some other time. I don't know what happened to my camera. That is weird. That is weird. That is weird. I don't know why he I'm disabled. Put my back. Disaster. He said disaster stream. That is crazy. Yeah, yo, Wins got me, man. He buried my camera, man. What the hell happened? You know what I mean? That ain't cool. No, but I try to make it work. What the heck happened? Thanks for the stream. Take care, bro. Yeah, take care, y'all. Unplug and plug. Yo, I did that. I unplugged and plugged it back in. That's what's wild to me. I did that. Maybe that worked. Oh, maybe that worked. I think we live. I think we live. Let me put my camera back in my damn thing. If that didn't work, I don't know. I think we did, man. I think we good. Damn, that's crazy. $2 for the camera. Yeah, that's a fact. $2 for the camera. I don't know what happened. What happened was I think it wasn't plugged in. So like it froze or something. But I think we good. We valid. We live. Yeah, we live. We back. We back. We back. Everybody stay tuned. I thought everybody's gonna drop once I started having technical difficulties. But we back. We good. We good. Technical difficulties. We just gonna finish this video and then see where life takes us after that.
I tell you now, there was only like 3 fucking fat people there. It was like me and 2 other girls. We were the only fat motherfuckers there. Everybody else was like high school cheerleader. Fuck with you not. Like 140 pounds, 5'6", bombshells.
Hold on, let me rewind. Let me rewind that.
There.
What's the story?
Do, right? I tell you now, there was
Lazy Stone, I appreciate the dono, man. Now it's gonna seem like I turned my camera off for a dono. I appreciate it though, man. Shout out to big ups to Lazy Stone, man, for the $4.99, man. I appreciate it.
There was only like 3 fucking fat people there. It was like me and 2 other girls. We were the only fat motherfuckers there. Everybody else was like high school cheerleader. Fuck with you not. Like 140 pounds, 5'6", bombshells.
Wait a minute.
High school cheerleader. Bombshells.
Hold on. I don't know what bombshells mean.
Wait a minute.
So I gotta pause it. It's a very attractive woman. Whoa.
School cheerleader. Bomb.
Whoa. $5.99 ain't gonna cut it, Pip. Utterly gorgeous, erotically beautiful woman. Whoa, that is
shells.
Bombshells.
And they're over here getting this fucking weight loss surgery.
Fucking Yellow Dick Swagger was a pretty fire ass name though. Can't even lie.
Yo, he just said that. Yo, bro, this dude did not just say that. Come on. I've never heard bombshells before. I don't talk like that. If you see her, you know what I mean?
You know Jordy's gonna remember that one.
Please don't talk about trolls.
Alright, bro. Shit.
Fat, trans, and proud. That's crazy. Oh my god.
Oh, he beat me. How?
Nah, he just randomly had fire.
Oh, come on, dude.
That is crazy.
We just lost a 4-2, boys. Knowing where both people are at.
So how's your guys' night today?
Yo, he called the high school girls, cheerleaders, whatever he said, bombshells, bro. And even if you hear the context, he's saying that they look so good they didn't need it. That is wild, bro. Wild ain't the word.
Secure the area. Keep the bombs protected.
Fat, trans, and proud.
What happened tonight, Will?
I am talking about it on stream. Can y'all guys
That
ban
is
Cutie
crazy.
Gamer, please? Nah, like we lost that last round because we were just playing.
Oh yeah, the dude donated like $100, and he was $100. Thank you. And it just went back to being a depressed bowl of mashed potatoes. He just went right back
for
to
some
it.
reason. Whoa! Ran out on me in basement. Flores plant, dude. This is such a bad play. Why would you do that? Like that's the dumbest shit you could possibly do.
At least go out far.
4v2, boys. We just lost.
Damn, I was trying to get off of that, and it just takes fucking forever.
You should never even went on it. Like honestly.
Like honestly.
Damn.
Like here's the thing. Like when you guys see him, don't say he's coming.
We had no eyes on though.
Yeah, he say that. The fact that he tries to say that what he said before about the age of consent and all that other stuff, that was just for shock jock value, pimp. But it's not shock jock value if you keep saying this stuff, man. You have predator tendencies, bro. What are you doing? Nah. You can't. I would like to see you get out of this one. So tomorrow or whenever the next time he streams or this is brought up by somebody in the chat, I'm interested to hear his explanation because that's wild. He always got one.
That's even worse. That's even worse.
I got my
But you know
Pepsi
what I'm
ready.
saying? Like
I don't drink soda. I really don't drink soda. Once in a while, I do have a ginger ale, but then I found out that ginger ale was just as bad as regular soda as far as like sugar and stuff goes. So I cut ginger ale out. But yeah, I drink my Polar, and that's about it, That's it. Sometimes I drink like Propel and shit, but I heard Propel ain't good for you either. None's good for you but water. So, I drink that. So that's how that goes. But yeah, Wings don't take no accountability. So he's going to try to twist it and yoga stretching into something else. You're taking it out of context. That's what's going to be out of context.
I literally got off bomb because I thought in my heart he was coming to me.
Crack a monster.
I'm not pissed. I'm just disappointed. I'm like
Yeah, that's why I said out of
made me not
context.
Stick the bomb.
We didn't bring impacts, I guess.
That is crazy.
Gonna use my shitty pistol.
Dude, suck my dick, script. God.
We got a DJ. We got to run that back. Suck my dick, strip.
We didn't bring impacts, I guess. Gonna use my shitty pistol.
Dude, suck my dick, script.
What was come on, man?
God damn it! There's a claymore there.
You got low T. You can't talk like that.
Shit.
You got low T. You shouldn't be talking like that.
Dude, these guys suck so much ass, and we just lost. Oh, behind me! Fucking Blitz! Oh, you could have said Blitz was in. Come on! God! Fucking Blitz again. Dude, I can't even get the hatch because somebody like fucking Mozzie
that person ain't 12.
Legion should have went and got that hatch.
I guess so.
Hey, Jordy, did you get
Yo, the shit he does with his nose bothers me so much because it is nasty. He'll sit there and play with his nose, go, it just mess with his nose. It's gross. It's not a tick. It's not whatever. You're nasty.
No, I like I said, like my donations have been so low lately, I can't afford to buy games. Hola, pimp. How do you feel about whites becoming a minority in America? Do you think it will be like South Africa? Whites are not becoming a minority in America, dude. Like black people are like 13% of the total population. Oh, dirt. Oh, come on. Why is he laying down?
I think what he meant by that is like biracial people. I think the number of biracial people is going up. I myself am biracial. I'm a African. A African, if you don't know, you have an African and you got a white American. Together that makes a African. I am half. So I think that's what he meant. Biracial people is going up. So biracial people going up, the regular, white people is going down. I think that's what he meant by that, not just the actual black population. I don't know. I can't speak for him.
Oh, hard right, Thatcher.
Can someone go?
Oh, right there, Levi, right in front of you. Shoot, Fat Trans is carrying us now. Shit. Carry me, daddy. What's the donor count? We're at 393.22. Might have to wake Kelly up and celebrate with some Wendy's chili.
Look at the total. Tell me, what you mean, bro?
Oh. Whoa! Run out! Run out on the door.
If a zombie didn't kill me.
Oh, I can't add you, Wings. I was gonna try to add you.
He's half and half?
Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah, okay.
It's not that
He half and half. You made him sound like an iced tea. That's crazy. I'm an iced tea too.
I ain't adding him. I'm just trying to get him to be asked to be.
How's the support been this stream, Dougie? You know what I mean? The support been good, man. I've had you guys up in the chat the whole time. Y'all keeping it interesting. Y'all keeping it cool. Y'all talking about the things y'all need to talk about. It's cool. I appreciate the support this stream for real. And that's not even talking about the monetized, you know, the super chats and stuff. I obviously appreciate that to the ends of the earth. You guys make it interesting. It's you guys that make the content. You guys, and it sounds cliche. It was, oh, another guy telling us that we matter. No, it's you guys are cool. I like talking to y'all. I'm looking at the chat while I'm doing this at the same time. It's cool. Now I'm Ice Cube. Yeah, shout out to the hoodlums. Shout out to the hoodlums.
Added.
Who to be added?
Shout out to the hoodlums.
The bathroom.
Like he's always doing is hinting at it like a woman.
Do I think? Oh, I gotta pause. I know I just paused, but I got because we talking about something real here. Serious question, my man Antonio. Do I think Kelly's getting blacked? I do think, in all seriousness, she has a trainer. Trainer is a dude. If he's black, she getting blacked. If he's white, she getting white. If she's Asian, she getting Asian. Whatever it is, no matter how you, if she's fat and trans like the dude's username, whatever the case may be, she getting digged down. That's what I think. Cause she said that she's basically a virgin because Wings ain't even penetrate. So
I don't know.
Somebody penetrating.
I feel like asking for an ad is just kind of weird, awkward, you know?
Somebody penetrating. White, black, blue.
They know I'm here.
Purple. Somebody getting them Animal Crossing cheeks.
What's my IQ? It's like 62 or some shit like that. Fucking A.
Man, that's crazy.
Then go ahead and ban that, please.
What the fuck?
Whoa! There's a guy in the fucking bathroom.
I do have a question, Wings. Do you still let people talk shit with a $10 bill?
Yeah, like that's the best way to talk shit.
You say go talk shit. Put it on the back of $10 bills.
Really? 3 guys died to 1 dude. Oh, and then I got 2. Come on, dude.
Last now.
Oh, they're pushing. Dude, we didn't get fucking dirt. Come on,
He's so
man.
bad.
I'm Audi 5000. Peace, people. I'll see you guys later.
Alright, he's out at 5,000. I'm gonna be out at 5,000. That's the end of the stream, y'all. She's about to divorce Wings. She ain't loyal. Cheeky finger sniff. And the cam going again. Yo, that's crazy. I was the end of the stream anyway, man. I gotta figure out what's going on with the cam. You guys have a good one. Until next time, I think Thursday is gonna be my streaming days. You guys have a good day. I'm out of 5,000. You guys have a good one. I'm about to end the stream for real now. I ain't gonna try to fix the cam. I gotta get off anyway. Gotta get ready for work, stuff like that. But this this is gonna be a deleted stream. Would be lit. Yeah, LTG I gotta get into. When we let Kelly up, leave him. Have a bull. You asking some crazy questions, man. You said a bull. That's crazy. Y'all have a good one. Peace.